Listen to me now. This is not just another message. This is a divine interception, and it carries the weight of eternity. What I'm about to release is big. It's personal. And child, it has your name etched on it. You didn't stumble here. I summoned you. I've waited for the exact second your heart would be ready to receive this, because what I say next will not only confirm what's been stirring in your spirit, but unlock what's been held back for such a time as this. So don't you dare scroll past this. Don't pause. Don't skim. Stay with me. Lean in. Lock in. Watch this to the end, not as a viewer, but as a vessel. Because every word is a key, and one of them is the one you've been praying for in secret. This is a turning point. Heaven is watching. Hell is trembling. And your destiny is waiting for your response. My beloved child, pause where you are right now. Not just in body, but in spirit. Set aside the noise, the notifications, the never-ending scroll of worries and unfinished plans. I am speaking directly to you, and I do not waste my voice. You must know this isn't just another passing thought or fleeting feeling. This is an appointed moment in eternity, breaking into your present reality. I have interrupted the rhythms of heaven to mark this second with divine intention, because what I'm about to release carries eternal weight and unmistakable personalization. Your name, yes, your name, has been spoken aloud in the courts of heaven. It echoed through the chambers where angels await instruction. And when I called it, they moved. You don't yet realize the volume of favor that has been building like thunder behind the veil, waiting for this precise breath in time to descend. What I am sending has not been seen by the eyes of man. It hasn't been touched by another's hands. It has never passed through the channels of human approval. It is raw, it is holy, and it is sealed with the ink of my authority. The weight of what's coming would crush you if I hadn't spent years preparing your soul to carry it. So don't misread this as hype. Don't confuse this with comfort. This is divine urgency. This is the weighty whisper of destiny calling from realms unseen. And child, that whisper has your name written in bold, fire-etched letters across its face. You've been overlooked by others, but never by me. Your name has not only been remembered, it's been guarded. While the world called others forward, I was preserving you for something far more significant than applause. I've hidden you not out of neglect, but out of necessity, because what I'm unfolding now required purity that could not be polluted by premature exposure. This is why it hurt. This is why it took longer. This is why you felt like the doors kept closing just when hope began to rise again. But today, that changes. Today, heaven has bent low to the earth, and all of creation bears witness to the announcement I am making over you. I am not whispering it to the wind. I am roaring it to the spirit realm. This is big, child. This is unprecedented. And it's yours. The angels I've assigned are not delivering leftovers. They are carrying blueprints, solutions, inheritances, and keys that were locked away until your name was called. You may have felt like just another soul passing through the seasons, but I'm telling you now, you were handpicked for this unveiling. This isn't borrowed breakthrough. This isn't recycled favor. What's arriving carries the scent of my breath and the shape of your calling. Your spirit feels it, doesn't it? That trembling, that burning behind your ribs, it's not anxiety, it's alignment. The kind that happens when heaven kisses earth with intention and says, this one, this child, has been found faithful. So I summon your attention now, not with suggestion, but with holy insistence. Because the next move I make will have your name all over it, and I don't want you to miss a single moment. My beloved, Let me make this clear, not just clear, but crystallized with fire-etched truth that burns away every layer of doubt you've ever worn like armor. What I am doing right now in your life isn't rooted in hopeful emotion or sentimental language. This is not spiritual sugar to numb your pain. This is a divine dispatch from the highest throne in heaven, carrying an assignment coded in the language of your very DNA. It bears your name, not loosely, not symbolically, but in full, spelled out in heaven's ink, sealed with the unbreakable stamp of my eternal authority. What is arriving is not a general blessing passed from hand to hand. This is heaven's targeted delivery, undeniable, inescapable, and immovable in its precision. You must know this, child. Nothing about this moment is casual. Nothing about what I'm placing in your atmosphere is recycled. Every detail of what is unfolding now has been written in the holy archives since before time began. While others may assume it's coincidence, you will know better. It's covenant. Do not let the enemy twist this moment into mere motivation. He would love for you to believe this is hype, a fleeting rush of inspiration that will fade by morning. But I do not traffic in the temporary. My word is not seasonal. It's sovereign. I am not lifting you just to stir your emotions. I am establishing you to shake atmospheres. And what I release over you carries the gravity of glory, the substance of a sealed promise, and the weight of generational shift. You've been hungry for something real, haven't you? Tired of empty words, hollow predictions, promises that vanish like vapor the moment pain returns. That's why I've waited to release this dispatch until now. Because this is not another comfort sentence. This is confirmation backed by heavenly strategy. And child, the scroll I'm unsealing is personal. It cannot be forwarded, duplicated, or delayed. You've waited in the shadows with questions burning beneath your breath, asking, God, was all this silence for nothing? And now I answer not with thunder, but with truth sharp enough to slice through every lie that ever told you your name didn't matter. You were not overlooked. You were reserved. When I send a dispatch, it doesn't arrive with confusion. It arrives with clarity. And that's what you'll begin to feel now, an internal shift so sudden, it startles the part of you that got used to uncertainty. You're not about to receive a suggestion. You're stepping into a directive. My words will not land lightly. They will land like fire on dry wood, igniting the parts of your soul you thought had turned to ash. You're not walking into a suggestion. You're walking into an assignment. This dispatch comes with instructions, with insight, with illumination that no seminar or sermon could give you. Because I'm not just informing you. I'm equipping you. What I'm delivering doesn't just come with words. It comes with weapons. You've been fighting with old strategies in a new battle. But what I'm giving you now will change how you see the field entirely. And as you receive it, watch how suddenly the confusion clears, the chaos calms, and the clutter of unnecessary expectations begins to fall away. You'll begin to recognize what matters and what never did. Because when my authority seals a moment, no counterfeit can confuse it. To listen closely, I am not just offering you direction. I am transferring divine authority into your awareness. And with it, the power to step forward without apology, to move without explanation, to receive without hesitation. I know others made you feel like you needed to earn this, like you had to qualify through perfection. But I am not bound by their expectations. I chose you in weakness. I refined you in waiting, and I'm releasing this dispatch in a moment only I could arrange. It's arriving at the intersection of your surrender and my sovereignty. And when you hold it in your spirit, you'll know deep in your bones, this wasn't imagination. This was intervention. You're not crazy. You're called. You're not being teased. You're being trusted, and the dispatch in your hands is your evidence. My child, I've watched every hour you stood still with trembling faith, waiting in silence while time mocked your hope. You didn't always feel brave, but still you stayed. You didn't always have clarity, but still, you chose trust over withdrawal. I saw the nights where you couldn't even lift a prayer, but your spirit still whispered my name. And I say to you now, with the full weight of heaven behind every word, the wait is over. What I have held in my hand for you is now being placed in yours, not as a loan, not as a test, but as a permanent entrustment. What I am placing carries weight. It isn't light. It isn't casual. It is holy. You will feel it in your soul, the shift, the change, the settling of something that fits your spirit like skin. This isn't a blessing you wear like a badge. It's a mantle you carry with reverence. And it belongs to you. Not because you perform perfectly, but because you refused to let go when it would have been easier to turn back. Do not mistake my silence in the waiting for absence. Every second you felt unseen, I was scripting scenes that required time and divine choreography. While you waited, I was working. While you wrestled, I was writing. And now, the holy handoff has begun. What I place in your life next isn't meant to feel familiar. It's meant to feel weighty. This is not a reward for behavior. It is a release of responsibility. You are not receiving something shallow. You are being trusted with something sacred. The wrestle you endured wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The wandering you walked through wasn't confusion, it was construction. Every delay that nearly broke you was designing strength that no spotlight could ever supply. And now, what once felt like scattered pain is coming together as divine pattern. You see, I wasn't just testing your patience. I was anchoring your foundation. Because what I'm placing in your hands would have cracked under the version of you that existed before the waiting. But now you're ready. And child, don't be surprised when this thing I place in your hands disrupts your previous patterns. It's supposed to. When something weighty drops, it makes an impact. You'll feel it in your relationships, your thoughts, your very posture. The things that once satisfied will no longer fill. The rooms you once fit in will start to feel tight. And that's not arrogance. It's alignment. I'm growing you to match the magnitude of what you carry. So yes, this will change you. It's supposed to. That's why I had to wait until your spirit matured enough to receive it. You asked me to use you, but I had to make sure you were strong enough to be trusted. And now, because you stayed when others ran, because you waited when others settled, because you trusted when others mocked, I place this mantle on you with joy. Not fear, not shame, but with full fatherly joy. This is yours. This is now. And it's time to walk like the weight you carry was crafted for your hands. Do not think lightly of what is being entrusted to you. For the impact of this moment will not only alter your personal world, it will echo into generations. What I am placing in you is not just breakthrough, it's blueprint. What you build from this will carry the fingerprints of heaven. Your children will benefit. Your lineage will shift. Cycles will break. Not because of anything man gave you, but because of what I gave you in the hidden season when only I saw. So lift your head, child. Open your hands. The weight is holy, but so are you. And I have chosen this precise hour to place it where it was always meant to be, in your grasp. Child, hear me now, not with your ears, but with the quiet places of your heart that only I have access to. What I'm sending into your life isn't borrowed from someone else's breakthrough. It's not a second-hand story, stitched together from fragments of other people's victories. This is not reheated favor or recycled grace. This is custom. This is crafted. This is kingdom specific. I've carved what's coming with the precision of a divine artist who knows every scar, every story, every strand of your soul. I didn't pull this from a generic shelf in heaven. I formed it for you in the fire of intention. It carries the scent of your prayers, the shape of your pain, the color of your anointing. You've wondered if what you asked for was too big, too broken, too out of reach. But I am not sending you fragments. I am sending you fullness. This is not almost. This is not close enough. This is the culmination of years of refining, aligning, and realigning you with what only I could create. Others may have told you to be content with crumbs. They convinced you to shrink your prayers, to reduce your dreams, to quiet your expectations so you wouldn't be disappointed again. But I never told you to lower your hope. I never asked you to mute your faith. And I certainly never wrote your story in leftovers. And oh, what I am sending now was not postponed out of punishment. It was preserved. Just as a master chef will wait until every ingredient has reached its ripest potential before plating a dish meant for royalty, I've waited until your heart, your character, your discernment reached the temperature of readiness. You see, I don't deal in fast food favor. I don't microwave miracles. I marinate them. I soak up significance. I let what I'm forming for you steep in the deep waters of my sovereignty until it emerges carrying not just what you want, but what you need, and what generations after you will feed from. This is more than timing. This is orchestration. This is not late. This is layered. And child, it's not only carved for your soul, it's been timed with heaven's pulse. While you were pacing in your room, wondering if I'd forgotten, I was aligning timelines that spanned years, people, continents, and spiritual territories. I was weaving stories you hadn't even stepped into yet. I was rerouting hearts you haven't met, preparing atmospheres you haven't entered, opening doors you haven't even dreamed of. And now, like a river released from behind a dam, what I crafted for you in secret is about to flood your present reality. And yes, it will feel overwhelming. Yes, it will feel unfamiliar. But that's because you've never walked in something so precisely yours before. You've never felt the fit of a promise that was shaped not just for your life, but for your legacy. And when it arrives, you'll know it. Because nothing man-made could ever feel this holy. Nothing forced could ever feel this free. Nothing stolen could ever carry this much peace. This isn't random. This isn't rushed. This isn't rough-drafted grace. This is my masterpiece, descending into your story at the exact second it was always meant to arrive. Don't flinch when it comes. Don't shrink back thinking it's too much. Don't wonder if you deserve it. You don't need to deserve what I delight to give. You only need to recognize my fingerprints. And they are all over this. Your name is etched into the architecture of the miracle. It won't fit anyone else. They won't even be able to carry it. It's calibrated to the crush you survive. Crafted by the same hands that held you through the nights you thought you wouldn't make it. So breathe deep, child. Your portion is coming. It's custom. It's kingdom. And it's close. Oh beloved, how many nights did you whisper, God, where are you? How many hours did you hold your breath? Hoping for a sign, begging for noise, aching to hear something, anything, that sounded like me. You mistook my silence for stillness. But child, I was never still. I was never absent. I was never asleep to your suffering. I was working, moving, rumbling like thunder in realms your eyes couldn't see and your ears couldn't hear. I was behind the veil, roaring over your destiny while you cried into your pillow. Every time you thought nothing was happening, I was building something so layered, so intricate, so perfectly designed to fit your soul. It required silence. Because the most sacred things are not formed in chaos, they are formed in stillness. And while the surface looked barren, the spirit realm was boiling over with movement on your behalf. You couldn't hear it, but heaven was at war for your promise. Angels were dispatched, chains were broken, timelines were bent to align with your calling. The thunder of divine coordination was louder than your pain, louder than your confusion, louder than the opinions that tried to drown out my truth in you. I wasn't ignoring you. I was insulating you. I was wrapping you in a bubble of divine secrecy so that no enemy could intercept what I was preparing. Because what I'm doing isn't a generic release. It's not a vague blessing. It's a surgical breakthrough. It carries your spiritual DNA. That means it moves like you, thinks like you, breathes like you. It fits your calling, your wounds, your strengths, and even the battles you haven't fought yet. That's why I couldn't rush it. Because what is tailored takes time. And child, hear me clearly. I allowed the silence to stretch so your roots would go deeper. You wanted answers, but I wanted architecture. You wanted clarity, but I was building capacity. I had to let you dig into the ground of faith when you couldn't feel me, because the weight of what's coming needed depth, not noise. And now that the foundation has been laid in the dark, the explosion of fulfillment will be visible in the light. You'll begin to see the fruit of decisions you made when no one was watching. Conversations you had with me that no one heard. The prayers you whispered through tears are echoing now in chambers of answered petition. And it won't be long before the world begins to see what I saw all along, that you weren't just waiting. You were being woven. You weren't just dug. You were being strengthened. So get ready, child. The quiet is about to give way to clarity. The invisible is about to become undeniable. The thunder that choked the unseen is about to become the testimony that shakes the earth. What I've moved in secret is now breaking into your atmosphere with purpose, precision, and promise. You're about to step into something so intricately yours, even your doubts will have to bow. You won't need to prove anything to anyone. The weight of what I release will speak louder than any explanation. I know it was hard. I know the silence nearly broke you. But it was never empty. It was pregnant with purpose. And now, the sound of what I've been moving behind the scenes is about to echo in your very soul. You will know it wasn't just worth the weight it was built by it. And every piece of the promise carries your name, your essence, your DNA. This is not random. This is not borrowed. This is yours. And it's already on the way. My precious child, lift your spirit for just a moment beyond the noise of this world. Close your eyes, still your racing thoughts, and listen, not with your ears, but with the frequency of your spirit. The silence you've grown used to has been shattered. The heavens are not whispering anymore. They are roaring. Roaring with the thunder of breakthrough, with the sound of angelic feet marching across the realms, with the vibration of doors slamming open that no man can shut. Do you feel it? Do you sense the shift in the atmosphere? It is not your imagination. It is not emotional hype. It is the sound of the new beginning I have ordained for you bursting through the membrane of delay. Your next season is not approaching. It's breaking open. Like a dam releasing decades of pressure, like a seed exploding through the soil, what I have spoken over your life is now in motion, roaring with urgency, wrapped in glory, and sealed with your name. You spent nights wondering if heaven had grown quiet, if your prayers hit the ceiling and fell like dust. But I tell you, the silence was not apathy, it was amplification. I was preparing a sound so loud, so heaven-born, so spiritually disruptive, that it would silence every voice of accusation that ever tried to mark you unworthy. Heaven has been preparing a symphony of your release. The instruments of justice, mercy, recompense, restoration, and resurrection are all playing in harmony right now. Not later. Not eventually. Right now. Can you hear it in the spirit? The crackling of old chains breaking. The sound of keys turning in locks that held you hostage for too long. The wind of divine movement brushing against the stagnant places of your past. This isn't wishful hearing, child. This is supernatural frequency. And heaven is vibrating with your name on its breath. And hear me. This sound is not soft. It is not safe. It is wild, like the roar of a lion declaring territory. It is fierce, like thunder clapping through a battlefield, announcing the end of one war and the beginning of another kind of victory. And the victory I am giving you now will be noisy. It will be seen. It will be heard. You will not walk into this season unnoticed. Heaven has already announced you. I've spoken your name to angels, and they have responded in reverence because of your resilience. I've declared your transition aloud, and the realms of darkness have trembled because they know the shift is irreversible. And now the earth will begin to echo what I've already declared in the spirit. That your time is here, your hour is now, and your name is being lifted not by men, but by me. So when things begin to move suddenly, don't panic. When people begin to react strangely, don't retreat. When environments begin to change without warning, don't resist. The shaking is proof that the roar has landed. So I say to you, don't hush the hope rising in your chest. Don't silence the dreams that feel too loud for your current circumstances. Don't muffle the anticipation just to appear humble. What you're feeling is not pride, it's prophecy. The heavens are declaring what you've barely dared to believe. That you are not forgotten. That you are not late. That you are not passed over. You are present in the spirit. And I'm releasing a sound so specific, so sacred, that it will realign every part of your life that was knocked out of rhythm. Yes, the heavens are roaring, child. And they are not just roaring in general, they're roaring with the sound of you. And when I raise my voice, everything created responds. So stand still and feel it. This is the sound of your season breaking open. Child, I need you to know something with absolute certainty. You are not waiting alone. You have never been alone. From the moment your voice reached the gates of heaven, from the first whisper of surrender, from the very second you said, God, I trust you even when I don't understand, the command was issued. Not delayed. Not debated. Issued. Your name was spoken in the heavenly council, and I dispatched warriors in response. Not just any angels, those trained in warfare. Those assigned to carry blueprints and break barriers. Those who know your destiny and are armed to protect it. They are not preparing. They are not stretching their wings. They are moving. Cast with fury, with finality, with fire in their wings and your name written on their orders. And child, this is not symbolic. This is literal. This is now. You may not see them, but the evidence is in the shift. Have you felt the tension lately? The rising restlessness that you can't explain? The unexpected delays, the sudden spiritual pressure, the strange moments of intensity that flare up in ordinary places? That's not coincidence. That's collision. That's what happens when angelic movement begins to cut through demonic interference. That's what happens when the spiritual meets the physical and heaven begins to clear a path through impossible terrain. You asked me for help, and help had been released. You pleaded for change, and assignments have been activated. I've dispatched reinforcements into your atmosphere, sentinels of strategy, messengers of movement, carriers of clarity. They don't arrive with confusion. They arrive with precision. And their arrival is not passive, it is purposeful. Right now, even as you read these words, the atmosphere around you is trembling, not in fear, but in response. The molecules in the air are vibrating with the friction of spiritual shift. Every delay you encountered, every disappointment you endured, was simply the resistance of hell trying to block what I've already released. But I do not send my word without a witness, and I do not send angels without outcome. What they carry will collide with your natural in such a way that you'll know, without a doubt, that something otherworldly has entered your orbit. Watch how people begin to act differently around you. Watch how doors that were locked for years suddenly open without force. Watch how peace comes in strange places, how favor falls without explanation, how paths appear where walls once stood. These are not signs of chance. These are signs of intervention. So don't ignore the urgency in your spirit. Don't dismiss the acceleration you're feeling. I'm not just whispering promises. I'm activating purpose. This moment is heavy with movement. And I'm not asking you to strive. I'm asking you to stay ready. Because my angels don't need your performance. They need your permission. Stay in alignment. Keep your spirit open. Remain in posture. They're coming with answers you forgot you prayed for. With confirmations you didn't even know you needed. With keys to doors you thought were welded shut. And they are not moving slowly. They are moving with divine urgency. Because the time has come. And you, beloved, are no longer in the season of waiting. You are standing in the epicenter of release. The shaking you feel is not something breaking down. It's something breaking through. My beloved, listen to me with your spirit wide open, because I am not simply bringing you a blessing. I am initiating a shift. There is a vast difference between the two. A blessing can comfort. A shift can confront. A blessing can soothe your current condition. But a holy shift, it will shatter the scaffolding of anything in your life that I did not build. It will interrupt every rhythm that you settled into that was out of sync with my spirit. This isn't a seasonal gift. It's a supernatural interruption. You prayed for increase, for change, for new level. But what I am about to do will do more than bless your bank account or ease your pain. I am bringing an earthquake to your spiritual foundation, not to destroy, but to reveal. This is not chaos. This is correction. Not punishment, but positioning. Not random, but righteous. You've been asking me to bless what you've built, but I love you too much to leave you in structures that cannot hold what I am about to pour. This shift is coming like a wave, sudden, sweeping, sovereign. It will touch everything. Relationships, priorities, emotions, habits, even your private thoughts. It will feel like destruction at first, because it will move things you've gotten used to living with. But remember, beloved, comfort is not the same as calling. Some things you've adapted to are actually assignments from the enemy, sent to distract, delay, or dilute your destiny. And now I am breaking in, like light piercing a sealed room, like thunder interrupting small talk, like fire consuming dead wood. This is not an ordinary adjustment. This is a divine alignment. I have looked at your life with eternal eyes, and I see the blueprint that you forgot. I see the dreams you buried beneath disappointment. I see the paths you abandoned because fear disguised itself as wisdom. And now I come, not to negotiate, not to explain, but to shift. And child, I will not ask your calendar's permission. I will not wait for your full understanding. When heaven issues a shift, it comes with authority, not consensus. That is why you've been feeling the tension, because I've been pressing your life back into the mold of my original intent. You've sensed it in the way old habits suddenly feel unbearable, in the way certain people no longer fit, in the way your appetite has changed for shallow conversations and surface-level spirituality. This is the shift announcing itself. This is the divine correction of heaven recalibrating your destiny. I've been loosening your attachment to what was because I'm reintroducing you to what is and what is to come. I've been removing the scaffolding of survival and replacing it with the steel of significance. This is the moment I interrupt everything that doesn't look like what I spoke over your life before the womb ever held you. So don't resist the discomfort, child. Don't panic when the familiar crumbles. Let it fall. Let it break. Let the things not built by my hand collapse without your rescue. You've carried dead weight long enough. You've covered for dysfunction, apologized for growth, and tiptoed around calling because you didn't want to make others uncomfortable. But I am not in the business of people-pleasing. I am in the business of people-positioning. And I'm positioning you. Not gently but gloriously. Not politely but prophetically. I am not sending a soft suggestion. I am initiating a sacred shift. And every piece of your life that remains after this will be aligned, anointed, and appointed. So embrace the interruption. Welcome the upheaval. Because the blessing isn't just coming, it's coming through the shift. My faithful one, let me remind you of something I never forgot. I saw it all. Every time you chose obedience over convenience. Every moment you decided to press forward, when retreat would have been easier. Every silent yes whispered through clenched teeth. Every step you took through spiritual fog. Every act of love you gave, when your own heart was breaking, I saw it. You didn't think anyone noticed. And truthfully, they didn't. People didn't clap. They didn't ask her. They didn't offer help. But heaven was recording. Angels were observing. I was watching, not as a distant judge, but as a loving father, counting every unseen sacrifice, every unseen offering, every unseen act of faithfulness. And now I have declared, it is time for public reward. The reward of the unseen is not a token. It is a trumpet. It is not a pat on the back. It is an unveiling. What I am bringing into your life now will be visible. Not to embarrass you, but to elevate you. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove me right. Because I said you were called. I said you were chosen. I said I would make good on my promises. And now I am bringing that truth into the open. The light of my favor will now shine on the very places where you once cried in darkness. You served when it wasn't seen. You gave when it wasn't acknowledged. You forgave when it wasn't earned. And I say to you now, child, your reward is here, and it carries the aroma of every unseen offering you've ever laid before me. There were nights when you wiped your own tears just to keep serving others. There were days when you went unnoticed, uncelebrated, even misunderstood, and you still kept your posture. You didn't run to platforms. You ran to prayer. You didn't chase visibility. You chased me. And that's why what I'm doing for you now won't look like anyone else's promotion. Because your process was different. And so is your portion. This is not manufactured. This is not manipulated. This is me, lifting you with my own hands, exalting the one who chose to kneel. Don't be surprised when the spotlight finds you, not because you asked for it, but because you were faithful in the shadows. The reward of the unseen is not a paycheck. It's a position. It's a placement. It's me putting you in places your preparation qualified you for, places the world thought you were unqualified to enter. to receive this moment with open hands and steady heart. Do not apologize for the doors I open. Do not explain away the favor I release. It is not arrogance. It is alignment. You're not stealing attention. You're stepping into appointment. Let them wonder how it happened. Let them ask who gave it to you. And smile, because you'll know it was me. The one who saw you when no one else did. The one who whispered encouragement into your exhaustion. The one who never let a single tear fall to the ground without purpose. This is the season of public recognition for private faithfulness. And you are walking into it now, not by force, not by fame, but by the faith that never folded. The reward of the unseen is here, and it is drenched in glory. Child, I need you to hear this from the deepest part of me, from the voice that shaped the stars and knit you together in your mother's womb. You are not in seed time anymore. You are in harvest. What once looked like delay with divine cultivation, what once felt like silence was sacred saturation. The soil you sowed in, soil wet with tears, marked by surrender, laced with long nights of aching prayers, has reached its moment. You didn't realize it, but every heartbreak, every quiet act of faith, every time you gave when you were empty, planted something. You sowed through sorrow. You watered with worship. And now, the ground itself can no longer contain what's been growing beneath the surface. This is not hype. This is heaven's holy announcement over your field. You have entered the divine tipping point, the moment where the buried becomes the blooming. I have not forgotten the seeds you planted in obedience, when no one was watching and no applause followed. I've watched those seeds swell under pressure, expand beneath pain, and stretch through the soil of your sacrifice. They did not die in the dark. They developed. And now, the same ground you once knelt on in brokenness is about to answer you in overflow. You see, child, I never let a seed of faith fall without producing fruit. And the fruit you are about to see, it will be too rich to explain. People will ask, how did this happen so fast? But they won't understand the years it took to get here. They didn't see the price. But I did. I saw the long obedience, the private discipline, the silent sowing. And now, hear me clearly, this harvest is not small. It's not a single moment of pavilion or a singular miracle. It's a cascading, a downpour, a divine eruption of answers all at once. You will not have room to contain it. You'll be stretched in your capacity to even receive it. Because what I'm releasing isn't just a harvest for your needs, it's a harvest for your name, a harvest for your lineage, a harvest that writes stories in your bloodline. The breakthrough I'm sending is so big, so beautiful, so bursting with glory, that it will silence the voices of doubt, yours and theirs. This isn't just fruit. It's evidence. Tangible, visible, undeniable evidence that I never forgot you, that I never wasted a moment of your waiting. So open wide your hands and your heart. Don't brace for disappointment. Expect delight. I'm not playing games with your hope. I am fulfilling my word. And this, child, is the part where joy begins to chase you, where restoration overtakes what was lost, where everything that didn't make sense begins to bloom with reason and reward. It's not seed time anymore. It's harvest. And it's happening now. Beloved, I know there were seasons you walked through where it felt like I had moved on to bless others and left you behind. I saw the way your heart winced every time someone else celebrated a victory you were still waiting for. I heard the sighs you didn't say out loud, the ache of a hope that felt postponed, the sting of prayers that echoed unanswered. And yet, you kept showing up. You kept praying. You kept worshiping. Even when it felt like your words floated into a vacuum. I need you to know now, I did not forget you. Not for a moment. I was not distant. I was not disinterested. I was deliberate. You were never being dismissed. You were being reserved. Reserved like fine wine, aged under pressure, hidden until the appointed time. I wasn't ignoring your cries, I was maturing your capacity. There are blessings that require readiness, and the magnitude of what I've been preparing for you would have crushed you prematurely. So I covered you. I kept you in the shadows not to punish, but to preserve. Because what I've been maturing behind the veil is holy, and holy things require hiddenness before unveiling. You weren't buried, you were planted. And like a seed in the soil, I hid you so your roots could go deep, so that when your time came, nothing could uproot what I'd built in secret. Child, the right moment is now. Not a second early, not a second late. I have watched the scales of your timeline tip with divine weight, and the veil is lifting. The delay is breaking. What I am revealing now is not a small portion. It is magnitude. It is abundance. It is me answering every season where you thought I was silent, with a suddenly that redefines your storyline. You're not just stepping into favor, you're stepping into fulfillment. This isn't a small promotion or a temporary high. This is the collision point of promise and perseverance. The very thing you thought had passed you by is now standing in front of you, arms open, drenched in glory, glowing with the confirmation you thought would never come. And this unveiling, will silence every lie that told you I forgot. It will expose every whisper that made you doubt your worth. What's been maturing in secret is about to be celebrated in public. I am doing this not just to bless you, but to remind the world that I am the God who remembers, that I am the one who keeps perfect time. You see, the magnitude of what I'm releasing carries weight. It will command attention, not because you demanded it, but because I authored it. So don't shrink back when it comes. Stand tall, not in pride, but in the posture of one who trusted me through every hidden hour. The veil is lifting, child, and what you see next will be worth every second of the way. My beloved, it is time to destroy a lie the enemy has tried to tattoo across your spirit. The lie that what I'm giving you is second tier, afterthought, leftover grace. That what's arriving in your life is a hand-me-down miracle, a diluted answer, a consolation prize for all the times you didn't quit. That lie is filth, and I, your God, am washing it off you right now. What I am giving you is not scraps. You are not a spiritual beggar picking at the edge of someone else's table. You are my child, seated at my banquet, and I've saved the richest portion for you. I haven't just prepared a table, I've tailored a feast. It's been seasoned with your tears, marinated in your worship. It carries the flavor of your sacrifice and the fragrance of your obedience. This is not overflow meant for someone else that just happened to spill your way. This is a flood meant for you, and it's been measured to the exact size of the ache you carried in silence. You see, I watched you in the night seasons, the times when no one asked how you were, when no one knew how deep the pain went. But I knew. I felt every internal stretch, every invisible burden. I saw the moments you smiled while your soul cracked underneath. The ache wasn't weakness, it was proof of your capacity. And I used that ache as divine architecture. I shaped the blessing around the shape of your suffering. The abundance I am releasing was not mass-produced. It was handcrafted. I didn't just look at your potential, I listened to your pain. I traced the outline of your hidden heartbreaks and said, let this overflow fill every gap. Let this reward match every scar. Let this healing flow exactly where the wound once bled. Child, I never overlook the ache that is offered to me in faith. I multiply it into fullness. And now, I am releasing a flood that your past pain will not be able to contain. The overflow is coming, not just in material provision, but in joy, in peace, in freedom, in clarity, in strength, in divine surprise. It will not be random. It will not be confusing. It will fit your heart like a lawless garment. You'll find yourself weeping not because of the pain, but because of the accuracy of my provision. You'll say, God, how did you know? And I'll say, because I was there. I was with you when no one else was. I didn't need to be told what you needed. I felt it. And I remembered. This overflow will not just restore. It will redefine. It will shift the way you see me, the way you see yourself, the way you see what's possible when my abundance is no longer filtered through fear, but poured freely into your hands. So, child, open those hands now. Wipe your eyes not in grief, but in readiness. The table is set. The room is full. And I have silenced the voices that said, you'll only ever get what's left. Because they were wrong. You're not receiving crumbs from another man's miracle. You are receiving the full portion, the overflow, the tailor-made abundance of a God who knows how to bless precisely, deeply, and extravagantly. You're not being tolerated, you're being trusted, and your overflow is already being released. Child, what I'm pouring out in this hour isn't just for you. It's meant to ripple into many. The oil I'm placing on your life flows through this very ministry. When you give, you are not donating. You are sowing into destiny, into souls being awakened across the nations. My word says, he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Proverbs 11:25. And I am fulfilling that now. This is not a pause in the message. It's an activation. You asked to be used. You prayed to be part of something bigger. And now I say to you, support the sound that's been feeding your spirit. So through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link below, multiply the reach. Release your seed. Watch me bless it beyond measure. Move now. This moment is yours. Listen to me now, child. I want you to lean in close. Let this truth wrap around your spirit like a mantle. What is coming for you next will not require force. It will not require striving. It will not require the exhausting labor of pushing and pulling and pleading your way into places you were always destined to enter. You've knocked on doors. Some slammed. Some stayed silent. Some opened just enough to make you hope, only to close again. And I saw every moment of that. I saw the confusion it caused. I saw the bruises on your knuckles from knocking, the weariness in your soul from wondering, what more must I do? But now, I am reversing the rhythm. This next move of favor will not come by force. It will come by flow. Doors are about to swing open without a sound. They will not creak. They will not resist. They will yield, because I have already spoken your name on the other side. You need to understand this. What I have assigned to you does not require man's permission. I am not waiting on their approval. I do not consult gatekeepers who didn't build the gates. I do not ask permission from systems that weren't sovereign in the first place. The favor I'm releasing has bypassed every boardroom, every committee, every human delay. It's direct. It's divine. It's already in transit. And when it lands, it will bypass protocol. It will confuse hierarchy. It will override red tape and man-made ceilings. You will look around and say, how did I get here? And I will answer, by my spirit, not by your strategy. Because I'm not elevating you through performance. I'm releasing you by promise. And my favor is not fragile. It's fierce. It's fire-tested. And it follows you not because of who you impressed, but because of who you obeyed. Provision is coming too, and hear me. It will not trickle in. It will pour. Not slowly. Not with stipulations. Not with strings attached. It will pour with urgency, with purity, with supernatural timing. Provision that you didn't apply for. Provision that finds you, finds your need, and fills it before you even speak it aloud. I'm talking about surprise deposits, unexpected settlements, open-handed generosity from sources you never saw coming. I'm talking about divine setups that appear out of nowhere but were written in your story before you were born. And when it happens, don't you dare shrink into false humility. Don't explain it away. Don't try to make it palatable for people who said it couldn't be you. Stand in it. Live in it. Testify of it. Because this provision didn't come from man, and it doesn't belong to man. It came from me. So don't knock on doors I've already opened. Don't beg for access to what I've already assigned. This is a new flow. One where grace goes before you. One where favor fights for you. One where doors open as you arrive, because the atmosphere recognizes who sent you. It's not arrogance, it's authority. It's not pride, it's placement. I've marked you. I've moved for you. And I'm about to make it so evident that you were always meant to walk through. To walk boldly. Walk humbly. But walk in full expectation. Because the doors are opening, the favor is flowing, and the provision is pouring, and no man can stop what heaven has already released. My child, pause here for a moment and let this truth sink deep into your marrow. The winds have shifted. The same winds that once blew against you are now beginning to carry you forward. What once stood in defiance of your calling is now under divine instruction to release what belongs to you. That resistance you faced, the walls that wouldn't fall, the doors that wouldn't budge, the hearts that wouldn't hear, those were not permanent barriers. They were momentary assignments meant to test, shape, and refine you. But the assignment has expired. The opposition has lost its license. The authority of resistance has been revoked by the one who commands the wind and the waves. And now, everything that stood in your way is under divine compulsion to move. Don't misread this moment. The pressure is shifting because the prophecy is maturing. What once felt like a relenting pullback wasn't the enemy winning. It was me training your spirit to stand in storm conditions. You see, I needed you to become strong in the winds, not just sing in the sunshine. Because the promise I'm releasing is not for the faint-hearted. It's for the tried, the tested, the tenacious. And child, you passed the test. You stood in the rain. You pressed through the wind. You kept walking when the terrain made no sense. You kept believing when logic mocked your faith. You stayed planted when others were plucked up by doubt. And now the resistance is being reversed. What once refused to move for you will now be moved by you. You will feel a divine reversal where the very forces that stood against you are now used as the vehicles to elevate you. Do you remember the Red Sea? How it once represented impassable separation, barrier, danger, death. But when I spoke, it split. Not just because it had to, but because it heard my voice. And now, your sea is hearing my voice. The places that once threatened to drown you are beginning to part in response to your persistence. Your obedience has been echoing in the spiritual realm louder than you knew. And those echoes have reached my throne. And from my throne, I have issued a command. Let it be released. At resource, at relationship, at revelation, at territory, at time, Everything that once resisted you is now standing at attention. I have whispered your name into the ear of the wind, and the wind is obeying. So prepare yourself. What once was hard will start to feel strangely easy. Not because the journey changed him, but because the wind did. The grace is no longer in the grind. The grace is now in the glide. It's in the flow. It's in the rhythm I'm releasing over your life, where things begin to connect effortlessly because they were always yours. This is not magic. It's momentum. It's me giving you divine acceleration after years of delay. So when you feel things start to open suddenly, when people begin to respond differently, when doors that were bolted for years start to swing wide without warning, don't question it. Don't resist it. It's not coincidence. It's consequence. Consequence of obedience. Consequence of faithfulness. Consequence of endurance. The winds have shifted, child, and everything is being commanded to release what was always meant to find you. My beloved, I need you to hear this, not just with your ears, but with the sacred knowing that lives deep in your bones. You are not being included. You are being released. You're not just being welcomed into someone else's story. You are the story that heaven is telling. You're not being added to the move of God. You are the move of God. You carry something so distinct, so drenched in oil, so wrapped in glory, that environments shift when you step into them. Not because of your title, not because of your resume, but because of your fire, because of your consecration, because of what you carry that cannot be copied and cannot be contained. You've spent years feeling like the outsider, the one who was tolerated but not truly seen. You've watched others be celebrated while your obedience was buried. But now, I am revealing the weight of what you carry. You don't just bring value to the room, you shift the room. You don't just contribute, you consecrate. When you show up, things break open. Why? Because I have poured something into you that cannot stay hidden any longer. It's oil. It's fire. It's the kind of favor that breaks glass ceilings, shatters generational curses, and disarms atmospheres polluted by fear and compromise. You don't even realize how much has been forged inside of you while you were waiting for your turn. But now I say, you are not waiting anymore. You are walking. And this oil is not decorative. It's destructive. It destroys yokes. It breaks patterns. It cuts through deception. The fire on your life is not just emotional. It's elemental. You've been branded by glory, marked by holiness. You didn't just survive the wilderness. You came out carrying the power of the one who walked with you in the fire. You didn't just hold on, you held me close. And now, what you carry will begin to speak for itself. The shift is not external anymore. The shift is you. You've become the earthquake that others feel, a wind that others notice, the divine disruption that awakens what have been asleep in dead places. So walk boldly now, not as someone trying to be chosen, but as someone already carrying the mantle. You don't need permission to be who I anointed you to be. You don't need a platform to release what I've placed in you. The platform is wherever your feet step. The oil is already flowing. The fire is already lit. And when you open your mouth, I will fill it with words that shake atmospheres. Don't minimize your presence to make others comfortable. You are not a problem to be managed. You are a prophetic solution sent from my throne. You were born for this hour. You were built for this weight. You were fashioned in secret for this kind of fire. And now, the shift has a name, and the name is yours. Beloved, I need you to understand the magnitude of what I'm doing. This moment is not just about personal change, it's about atmospheric transformation. I'm not simply editing the events of your life. I'm rewiring the very environment in which your life takes shape. You've asked for change in you, but I'm answering with change around you. You've prayed for breakthrough within, and now I'm stretching my hand into the realm that surrounds your every breath. The atmosphere is shifting. The very air around your calling is being purified, sanctified, and magnetized with the weight of my glory. This means that places, people, and patterns that were once neutral, or even harmful, can no longer stay attached. The old atmosphere was permitted during your preparation, but it cannot exist in your elevation. You felt the tension, haven't you? The discomfort in old spaces, the awkwardness in relationships that once felt effortless, the tug in your spirit that says, I don't belong here anymore. That is not arrogance. That is alignment. That's what happens when the spiritual climate around your life begins to shift. I'm not just pulling you out, I'm pulling everything around you into divine recalibration. Because, child, your atmosphere matters. It affects your vision. It affects your sensitivity. It affects your peace. And I will not allow unwanted oil to continue flowing in polluted spaces. I'm clearing the spiritual air around you like a rushing wind. I'm purging what's been contaminating your clarity. And yes, some things will fall away. Some connections will dissolve without conflict. Some rooms will become quiet. That is not rejection. It's refinement. Everything connected to you is being held up to the light of my glory. Assignments that were leeching off your time without bearing fruit, they are being severed. Opportunities that looked promising but were laced with compromise, they are being removed. Even internal atmospheres, the emotional patterns, the mental strongholds, the cycles of self-doubt, are being dismantled and rebuilt. Because what I'm about to do through you requires a new ecosystem, a spiritual habitat of peace, purity, and prophetic flow. The environment I'm creating around you will not just support your next level, it will sustain it. I am insulating you with grace, surrounding you with clarity, encircling you with discernment so sharp, deception won't even get close. So don't mourn what's shifting. Don't grieve what's going quiet. Rejoice that the cloud of my presence is settling over your life. You are becoming the center of a spiritual climate where glory will dwell, miracles will move, and destiny will thrive. And everything that remains, every relationship, opportunity, idea, and desire that stays aligned, will carry the scent of sanctification. You're not just being transformed, you're becoming a transformation center. The atmosphere around you will be a womb for breakthrough, for others and for yourself. This is bigger than you ever imagined, and it's already begun. Breathe deep now. The air has changed. My beloved, let me remind you of something that all of heaven already knows. You survived what was designed to silence you. There were forces assigned to muzzle your voice, not just your vocal cords, but your spiritual authority, your prophetic boldness, your inner roar. The enemy didn't just want to wound you. He wanted to mute you. He targeted your voice because he feared your impact. Because he knew that once you found your voice in me, once you spoke from a place of truth, testimony, and anointing, chains would break. Rooms would shift, hearts would awaken, and hell would tremble. But here you are, still standing, still speaking, still praising, still worshiping in a voice that carries the weight of every battle you've walked through. You didn't come through unscarred, but you came through undefeated. And those scars, they are not signs of weakness, they are symbols of worship. Your praise isn't pretty anymore, and it's not supposed to be. It's gritty. It's raw. It's holy. It carries the smell of the furnace and the sound of freedom. You've learned to worship not just from the mountaintop, but from the valley floor, from the hospital bed, from the place of betrayal, from the midnight hour. And now your voice carries authority, not the kind that's taught, but the kind that's earned in the trenches of warfare. When you speak, heaven leans in, because your voice doesn't echo the opinions of man. It releases the resonance of one who's encountered me in the fire and didn't walk out empty-handed. Do you remember the three in the fire, child? Chavech, Mehich, and Abednego. They weren't just rescued. They came out with a testimony. And they didn't even smell like smoke. That's you. You've been through infernos that should have incinerated your future. But I was the fourth man in the fire. I didn't just deliver you. I walked with you. I preserved you. And now, your voice is my echo. Your song is my statement. When you lift your voice, it sends tremors into the spiritual atmosphere. Because it's not just sound, it's story. Every hallelujah you whisper now carries the volume of every help me, Lord, you once cried in secret. A kind of worship, a kind of voice. It cannot be fabricated. It can only be forged. So I say to you now, speak, sing, declare. Don't silence your victory out of humility. Don't shrink your roar to make others comfortable. Your voice is a weapon. Your testimony is a trumpet. And I am amplifying it. You will speak and things will shift. You will declare and darkness will retreat. You will open your mouth and what was once a whisper will become a wind. The fire didn't steal your voice. It gave it depth. And now, when you speak, it won't just be volume. It will be authority. Authority that was born in the valley and crowned in the fire. Speak now, child. The world is waiting to hear the sound of one who worships, not because they won, but because they never stopped. My child, I know you haven't said it out loud, but I heard the thought that passed through your weary heart in the quiet places. Maybe I've lost it. Maybe I've missed it. Maybe the edge I once had is gone forever. You've been feeling like a lion that forgot how to roar. The fire you used to burn with has felt dim, and your voice, once bold, once unshaken, has been drowned by life's demands, disappointments, and delays. I saw it happen. I saw when your warfare became weary. I saw when your passion gave way to pacing. I saw when your declarations turned to whispers and your roar was reduced to survival. But child, listen to me with everything in you. You have not lost what I placed inside you. Your roar was never erased. It was simply buried. And now, I am calling it back to the surface. You see, your authority didn't die in the battle. It was buried under the weight of the process. But buried things aren't always dead. Sometimes they are seeds. And I have been using this season not to punish you, but to press you. To let the shell of your own expectations crack open so that the real roar can be born. Not the roar of hype or emotion, but the roar of holy knowing, that fierce, immovable, heaven-breathed sound that says, I still belong to God. I still have oil. I still have fire. This roar isn't loud because it needs to be heard. It's loud because it's filled with truth. And the enemy fears truth that's been tested. The enemy fears you, not because of how loud you shout, but because of how deeply you've endured. So now, I'm stirring the embers. I'm blowing my breath across the ashes. I'm shaking the core of your spirit until what's been silent starts to rumble again. You'll feel it in moments when you least expect it, a surge of boldness in the middle of a conversation, a sudden clarity when you hear someone speak lies that once confused you, a divine indignation rising when injustice confronts your peace. That's not emotion. That's restoration. That's me giving you back what the enemy tried to convince you you'd lost forever. The roar you're about to release will not be a repeat of the past. It will be stronger, wiser, younger. It will carry layers of authority that only the fire could forge. It will break things open, not just for you, but for others chained by fear, confusion, and doubt. You're not just getting your voice back. You're getting your weight back. So rise. Stretch your spirit. Speak again. Don't wait for someone to validate what I've already anointed. Your roar is your weapon. Your roar is your return. It's time for hell to remember who you are. It's time for your own soul to remember what you carry. You are not timid. You are not forgotten. You are not fated. You are royal. And royalty never loses its authority. It simply needs to be reminded. I'm restoring your roar, child. And this time, it will echo with the sound of resurrection. My child, I know how often your heart has whispered, if only I had started sooner. If only I had chosen differently. If only I hadn't wasted so many years in fear, in delay, in places that didn't feed my purpose. You've looked back with heavy questions, asking if your detours have disqualified you. You've mourned time as if it were a thief you couldn't chase down. But listen to me, beloved, time is not your enemy. I am the Lord of time. And I tell you now, with the full force of heaven's authority, I am redeeming what was lost. Not just emotionally, not just spiritually, literally, tangibly, practically. What you thought was wasted will now become part of your harvest. You see, I do not measure time the way man does. I measure time by transformation. While you were lamenting what you thought was lost, I was building in secret. While you thought life was on pause, I was planting seeds that will now bear fruit with supernatural speed. This is not a season of mere progress. It is a season of acceleration. Things that should have taken 10 years will happen in one. Doors that once required a lifetime of proving will now open with a whisper. Not because you forced them, but because I've ordained them. You are stepping into a divine time zone, where heaven's calendar overrides earthly limitations, where favor begins to collapse time frames, where my spirit begins to move so quickly that even you will wonder how it happened so fast. Don't misunderstand me. This is not hype. This is not fantasy. This is the result of compounded obedience. The kind of obedience that pressed forward when no reward was in sight. The kind of obedience that said yes in the dark. I don't forget that kind of faith. And I don't repay it lightly. I multiply the return. I don't just give you back what was stolen. I give it back pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You are about to walk into rooms where your name was already spoken before you arrived. Opportunities are going to chase you down, not because of who you know, but because of who knows you. You're not behind, child. You're right on time for my redemption. And what I restore in overflow. So stop rehearsing regret. Stop counting the years like they were wasted. In my economy, nothing surrendered is ever lost. Every tear, every delay, every detour is now being woven into a tapestry of timing that no man can take credit for. You'll see miracles stack on top of each other. You'll see suddenlies that make up for decades. You'll move faster because now you move with me. The time thief tried to convince you that it was too late, but I'm declaring it's right on time. The acceleration is already in motion, and the reward is going to leave you undone. My child, I know the burden you've carried, not the one others see, not the visible responsibility, not the roles you perform, but the invisible weight that has clung to your soul like a second skin. The kind of weight that makes your chest heavy in the middle of the night. The pressure that no one asks about because you've worn your smile so well. But I know. I felt the inner groans of your spirit when the world was quiet. I've seen the way your heart has clenched in hidden pain while your hands kept serving. You've carried family, finances, fears, and faith all at once. You've fought battles in rooms no one entered. And you've held up worlds that tried to collapse on top of you. But I say to you now, not 1 ounce of that pressure has been wasted. I did not stand by idly while you carried that weight. I was there, collecting every drop of sweat, every silent tear, every clenched prayer. What the enemy thought would crush you, I used to press you. You've been in my oil press. And though you didn't realize it, that pressure was producing something sacred, oil. Not the kind of oil that comes through performance, but the kind of oil that comes through pain, through private obedience, through hidden sacrifice. The kind that marks you with heaven's fingerprint. And now, child, I'm lifting you from the shadows, not to exploit your suffering, but to reveal your anointing. What you carried in secret is about to identify you in public. People are going to notice. Not your clothes, not your resume, but your weight. The spiritual weight you carry will shift rooms without explanation. You'll open your mouth and release power you didn't rehearse. Your presence will carry peace. Your prayers will pierce darkness. Your voice will carry the same power that once held you together. And those who thought they knew you will say, "What happened to them?" And I will answer, "They've been pressed. They've been purified. They've been prepared. And now they are poured out. Because I'm not just giving you a new season. I'm revealing a new identity. One formed not in spotlight, but in surrender. Not in applause, but in agony. And now that oil, the oil you thought was for survival, is about to become your signature, your calling card, your mantle. So walk boldly now, child. You don't need to explain how you got here. Just carry the oil. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. Just pour. I'm surrounding you with opportunities that recognize the weight you carry. And I'm silencing the voices that tried to diminish what they didn't understand. You were never weak, you were pressed. You were never forgotten. You were forwarded. And now, the pressure has become power. And you will walk with the evidence that the weight was always worth it. Beloved, I know how weary you become from being misunderstood. From having to water down your convictions so others wouldn't feel convicted. From translating your passion into palatable words just to be tolerated. From shrinking your fire so it wouldn't consume spaces that weren't built for it. You've been the one who burns with vision, with truth, with insight, and yet you've had to hide that brilliance behind a smile just to fit in. You've been starving for connection, but surrounded by people who only understand the version of you that doesn't scare them. I have watched you speak in code, spiritual code, emotional code, trying to communicate depth in a shallow environment. But now I'm sending you something new. I'm sending people who speak your language. These are not just friends. These are divine alignments. Individuals who see you not just for who you've been, but for who you really are. They will not be intimidated by your mantle. They will not be threatened by your vision. They will recognize the oil on your life because they've been through the same pressing. They will hear the cadence of your voice and respond not with confusion, but with confirmation. I'm sending intercessors who will cover you without you asking. Visionaries who will dream with you instead of compete. Warriors who will sharpen your edge instead of dull your flame. This is a covenant connection, I convened one. And they are coming now, because your calling is too weighty to carry alone. I'm not just surrounding you with support, I'm surrounding you with mirrors. People who reflect back the truth you carry when you forget it. People who pull on your potential when fear tries to shrink you. People who hold you accountable to heaven's standard, not man's limitations. You won't have to explain why you cry during worship, why you wake up with strategies, why you feel burdened for places you've never been. They'll just know, because they speak your language, and in their presence you'll feel seen, safe and sent. No more performing, no more posturing, no more hiding the holy out of fear of being misunderstood. The year of shrinking is over. The age of divine resonance is here. So don't be surprised when people begin to fade. That is not loss. It is making room. I'm extracting the ones who tolerated you, so I can position the ones who value you. Your fire was never too much. It just required the right room. And now I'm building that room for you. A room of equals. A room of revivalists. A room of warriors who hear what you hear and burn like you burn. You won't have to translate anymore. You won't have to dilute. Just show up, speak, pour, and burn. Your tribe is coming. And when they arrive, everything in you that's been waiting to be understood will finally exhale. My child, the waiting season you've walked through wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And though you've endured it with patience, there were moments when you wondered if I had changed my mind. You asked me in the night, Lord, have I missed it? Did I misunderstand what you said? Why does it feel like I've been stuck between prophecy and fulfillment for so long? I heard those whispers, and I want you to know, I never delayed out of indifference. I delayed to develop. You see, restoration isn't about simply giving back what was lost. I don't do small restorations. I don't restore to the level of your pain. I restore to the level of my promise. And now, the delay is over. The dam is breaking. And what's about to pour into your life will have no restriction. This won't be a trickle. It will be a quiet fix or a minor repair. It will be a flood, and it will come fast. Everything that seemed like it was behind time is about to arrive ahead of schedule. I'm accelerating promises and redeeming lost years, not by returning things as they were, but by releasing them as they should have been all along. Restoration doesn't mean I hand you back the old. I give you something better, something bigger, something birthed through your faithfulness. You held on when it was hard. You obeyed when it didn't make sense. You refused to give up even when everything in you screamed to let go. And now I say, enough waiting. Watch what I do next. You'll blink and find yourself standing in places you used to pray for. You'll wonder how it happened so quickly, and the answer will always be the same, grace upon grace. But hear me, this restoration isn't just for you. It's through you. I'm restoring your name, your reputation, your strength, your joy, not so you can boast, but so you can bless. I'm putting resources in your hands that will overflow to others. I'm giving you favor that will open doors for many. This is not just personal, it's generational. The legacy of lack that once plagued your family line is being severed. The ceiling that kept others stuck is now your floor. I'm not just restoring years. I'm rewriting bloodlines. And you will testify. You will speak of the God who not only returned what was lost but multiplied it in ways the enemy never saw coming. You will say, I waited, but it was worth every second. So lift your head, child. The rain clouds aren't threats, they're signs. Restoration is thundering toward you, and it carries no restriction, no ceiling, and no delay. It's not too late. It's right on time. And when it hits, it will leave you undone in the best way possible. The wait was long, but the weight of what's coming will overshadow every tear. You're about to see me restore without limits, because your obedience placed no limits on me. Did you feel that? The shift in the atmosphere. What I've reserved for you is big, but it doesn't stop with you. This word, this fire, it must travel further. When you give, you are fueling the movement of my voice. You are sending light into dark corners, breaking chains off hearts you will never meet, until eternity reveals it. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Luke 6:38. I speak this over your life now. Partner with me. Give boldly through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link. This isn't just support. It's prophetic alignment. Release what's in your hand and watch the heavens respond. Move now, child. Your seed is sacred. Beloved, I need you to understand something that will shift your entire perspective. There are blessings that have your name engraved on them. Blessings that the enemy has tried to access, delay, or destroy. But he couldn't. Not because he didn't try, but because I didn't allow it. I placed a seal on certain things in your life: dreams, relationships, assignments, promises, and I marked them as untouchable. I covered them in the blood. I hid them in the folds of my timing. And while you thought they were denied, they were actually being defended. You thought I said no, but I was actually saying, not yet, because I'm still preserving it. You see, the enemy is not all-knowing, but he is observant. He's watched the hand of favor over your life. He's noticed the anointing you carry, and he has thrown everything he could to break your confidence, to make you forfeit what I marked as yours. That's why the warfare intensified. That's why you face sabotage, betrayal, weariness, and confusion. It wasn't random, it was strategic. But what he didn't understand is that the most valuable parts of your calling were never left exposed. They were tucked beneath my sovereignty. And now, the time has come to reveal what's been preserved. I have kept divine appointments hidden until now. I have preserved doors, relationships, platforms, and moments that only respond to your voice. And I've been waiting for your spirit to be matured enough, your faith strong enough, and your heart steady enough to carry them with humility and boldness. Because what I'm handing you now is not just a blessing, it's a mantle. It comes with weight. It comes with visibility. It comes with power. And that's why I had to hide it. Because some things are too holy to be exposed before their time. But now, the hour has come. I'm uncovering what's been hidden. I'm releasing what's been reserved. And I'm doing it without the fingerprints of the enemy anywhere near it. So walk into this moment with confidence, not arrogance but holy certainty. You're not walking into stolen territory. You're walking into stored glory. Things others tried to grab will fall into place for you because they were never meant for them. The job, the relationship, the favor, the open door. It's not coincidence. It's confirmation. I preserved it with your name on it. And I am releasing it now, not because you earned it, but because you endured. And that, child, is the currency of heaven. The enemy couldn't steal what was sealed. And now, all of heaven is watching as you step into what was always yours. My beloved, hear me. What you've been walking through wasn't just random warfare, it was targeted. Hell has recognized what some people around you still don't fully see. There is a word over your life. A living word. A spoken from my throne kind of word. A word that didn't just promise results, but released identity. This word is the reason the fire has been so fierce. Not because you were weak, but because you were dangerous. Not because you were failing, but because you were rising. The enemy didn't want your possessions. He wanted your perception. Because if he could get you to doubt who you are, he could get you to abandon what I've already promised. But you didn't abandon it. Even when your body was tired. Even when your mind was under siege. Even when confusion screamed and prayers felt like they fell into silence, you still carried the word. Bruised but believing. Bleeding but holding on. And that, child, was what made all of heaven rise to attention. Because your obedience in the middle of battle was louder than the enemy's accusations. Your choice to believe when it would have been easier to retreat has shifted the tides. And now, hear me clearly. I am stepping in. I'm not just bringing a solution to your situation. I'm bringing victory to your identity. I'm reestablishing the truth about who you are, who you've always been, and who you're becoming. I'm silencing the lies that whispered you were too broken, too late, too inconsistent. I'm dismantling the identity the battle tried to place on you. You are not weary, you are aware. You are not behind. You are in the birthing canal of divine timing. You are not forgotten. You are martyr. And now, I'm going to remind the world of what I've already declared about you. The victory I'm bringing isn't just about a better season. It's about a restored identity. You're going to walk in clarity. You're going to speak with authority. You're going to remember the fire that always lived inside of you and use it to ignite others. The battlefield that was once a place of torment will now be a platform of testimony. You're going to return to some of the very places that once broke you, but this time with oil. So stand tall now, not in your strength, but in mine. The war has only revealed what I already knew about you, that you are chosen, equipped, and unshakably mine. The word over your life has survived hell's resistance. And now, child, you're about to see it fulfilled in full view. Child, I know it's been quiet lately. Deafening, even. The kind of quiet that makes you question if I'm still there. You've looked around and wondered why the pace slowed down, why the doors stayed closed, why the noise disappeared. But I must tell you what this quiet truly was. Not abandonment, not punishment, but a cocoon. I wrapped you in silence, not to isolate you, but to incubate you. Because what I'm doing in you doesn't grow in noise. It matures in stillness. The vision you carry needed darkness, not to discourage you, but to develop you. The butterfly does not stretch its wings under the gaze of men. It unfolds in the secret place. And that's where I had you hidden in holy obscurity. You weren't buried. You were planted. The silence wasn't rejection. It was preparation. I pulled you away from the spotlight so I could strengthen what would have otherwise crumbled under pressure. I protected your process. I placed my hand over your mouth at times, not to silence you, but to deepen your discernment. Because, child, you needed to learn not just when to speak, but when to listen. And you did. You leaned in. You journaled through the drought. You cried, but you stayed. And now the soil has shifted. The gel has cracked. And the unveiling is beginning. This unveiling will not be loud, but it will be luminous. You will begin to notice the colors of your calling emerging, vibrant, undeniable, and divinely timed. People will begin to ask, "Where have you been?" And you will answer not with pride, but with reverence. "I was in the cocoon, with God." And they will see the evidence, not just in what you say, but in what you carry. A weight, a wisdom, the wind of the Spirit resting on you. Because cocoon ones don't emerge as they entered, they emerge transformed. And child, you are no longer who you were. You're lighter. Jabru. Vir. Virsu. Free. Don't rush the unveiling. Don't step out before the wings are dry. But know this, you're not waiting anymore. You're emerging. And with every step you take, the atmosphere will recognize what has shifted. No more hiding. No more doubting. No more delaying your destiny. The cocoon season is over. The sky is open. And you were always born to fly. My beloved child, how often have you stood in the middle of conflict and thought, did I take a wrong turn? How often did the increase in warfare make you second-guess the instructions I whispered into your spirit? You've been measuring progress by peace, but not all peace means presence. Sometimes, the very proof that you're walking in divine purpose is when the pressure intensifies. Hell doesn't attack what isn't a threat. And make no mistake, you have been a threat. Not because you tried to be loud, flashy, or visible, but because you've been obedient in the quiet. Because you kept building when no one cheered. Because you kept moving when it didn't make sense. And while it may have looked like resistance, it was actually recognition. Hell recognized what heaven already confirmed. You're gaining ground. You thought the silence around you meant stagnation, but in the spirit, the ground has been shifting under your feet. You've been advancing in ways that don't register to natural sight. I've been moving pieces behind the curtain, positioning angels, releasing favor. And while you were busy surviving, you were also possessing. Every prayer you whispered while your heart was breaking, they shook gates. Every time you said yes while the atmosphere screamed no, it pushed back darkness. You didn't realize it, but you were taking territory in the spirit realm. Step by hidden step, you were breaking cycles, shifting generational lines, and making room for the weight of glory that's about to fall. But now I'm about to make visible what's been happening invisibly. What's been hidden under the dirt is about to erupt through the soil. You will see the fruit of the silent fight. You will feel the reward of the relentless press. Because I don't let faithfulness go unnoticed. I don't forget midnight obedience. I don't overlook silent strength. You've gained more than grown. You've gained authority. You speak now with the voice of one who didn't just read about warfare. You walked through it. You prayed through it. And now, you own the land it tried to steal from you. So the next time opposition rises, remember, it's not a sign that you're off track. It's a reminder that the track you're on is dangerous to the enemy. Keep moving. Keep pushing. Don't let resistance redefine your assignment. You're gaining more than you know. And now, the evidence is about to show. Child, I see it. How many times you've been right on the edge. So close you could feel it. So near that your heart began to hope again. But then, it slipped. The door closed. The opportunity vanished. The conversation ended without follow-up. The miracle came 90% of the way but never seemed to land in your hands. You've lived through the ache of almost. You've grieved promises that nearly came to pass. You've danced at the edge of breakthrough, only to fall back into the valley of delay. And it has wearied your soul. You've started to wonder if almost is the story of your life. But I speak this now with the full force of my authority, no more. The pattern of almost is being broken. The spirit of delay, sabotage, and last-minute collapse is being severed from your life. This cycle didn't start with you. It ran in your bloodline. Patterns of near miss and unfinished projects, dreams deferred. But where others accepted it, you resisted. Where others normalized it, you cried out. And I've heard those cries. And now I am answering, not with sympathy, but with strategy. I'm removing the spiritual interference that has hovered around your final steps. I'm closing the gaps that cause things to fall apart at the 11th hour. And I'm releasing grace for completion. You won't just start, you will finish. You won't just get close, you will cross the threshold. This is a fitting anointing, and it's falling now. There will be no more false starts. No more surprise endings. No more heartbreak disguised as lessons. This is the season where you see the full picture. The manuscript will be finished. The business will be launched. The relationship will be healthy. The promise will be delivered. And people will watch in awe as you walk into what the enemy said would never happen. This is more than a turnaround. It's a completion. And not just for your sake. The generations behind you need to see what finished looks like. You will become the first in your line to say, God didn't just bring me close, He brought me all the way through. So walk now without fear. The sabotage spirit has been silenced. The cycle has been crushed. And every almost that once taunted you will bow at the feet of it is done. I'm the God who finishes what I start. And child, I'm about to finish through you. Oh, my faithful one. I watched every moment. The late nights when no one knew you were still saying yes to me. The invisible sacrifices that didn't make it into social media captions. The days you gave your last. Not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, because you believed I was still worth it. You obeyed when it wasn't popular. You obeyed when it wasn't easy. And you especially obeyed when it wasn't recognized. Others were being celebrated, elevated, posted, and promoted. And still, you served me in the shadows. You didn't obey for applause, you obeyed for me. And that, child, is why the coming reward will be without measure. You see, the gates I'm about to open aren't just a result of effort. They are the fruit of quiet obedience. The kind that whispers yes when no one is watching. The kind that chooses me over comfort, destiny over delay, surrender over self. Your obedience built altars in places people thought were empty fields. And now I will show you what happens when obedience meets my acceleration. The small things you thought didn't matter. The prayer you prayed for someone else even while you were hurting. The $10 you gave when you needed 100. The encouragement you gave when no one encouraged you. All of it counted. And heaven has kept the record far more accurate than any earthly scorecard. And now, child, I'm unlocking public gates, doors that seem too high, too grand, too impossible. But you won't be striving for them. You'll simply walk through them. Because your private faithfulness has created public favor. People will wonder how you got there. And you'll know it wasn't hustle. It wasn't strategy. It was obedience. I don't forget those who labor in the quiet. I don't ignore those who weep in secret while still giving me their best. That season of hiddenness didn't bury you. It qualified you. And now I'm about to place you in positions where your voice carries weight, your influence brings healing, and your story opens hearts. Not for ego, but for impact. Not for self, but for the kingdom. So don't shrink now. Don't disqualify yourself. The gates are opening because of what you did when no one was looking. I'm not just rewarding effort. I'm rewarding purity. I'm rewarding that steadfast, unrelenting, holy kind of obedience that held on when it would have been easier to give up. The big gates are swinging open, child. And when they do, walk through boldly. You've already been approved by heaven. And that's the only approval you ever needed. Child, I see you. The way you've been trying to hold everything together. Juggling responsibilities. Managing expectations, stretching your soul in 100 directions, hoping that if you just do enough, breakthrough will come. You've believed the lie that says, if I just push a little harder, maybe God will move. But I didn't design this next move to be born through human force. It won't come through striving. It will come through stillness. Not inactivity, not laziness, but the kind of sacred, spirit-soaked stillness that says, God, I trust you enough to let go of the wheel. This stillness is not surrendering your ambition. It's surrendering your control. Because what I'm about to do in and through your life requires you to operate from a place of rest. Not a rest that comes after exhaustion, but a rest that lives in your spirit even in the middle of movement. I'm calling you out of the hamster wheel of overthinking. I'm breaking the addiction to performance. I'm severing the belief that pressure equals purpose. You don't have to exhaust yourself to prove you're worthy. You don't have to struggle your way into open doors. This time, the door will open because you stopped trying to knock and instead sat at my feet and listened for the whisper. Stillness is your strategy. Rest is your warfare. From this stillness will come supernatural downloads, fresh creativity, divine instructions, unexpected provision. You'll begin to notice that things start flowing. Conversations, connections, open doors, not because you chased them, but because you cultivated an atmosphere where I could move freely. This is the rhythm of grace, child. Not burnout, but breakthrough. Not hustling, but hosting my presence until it saturates every room, every conversation, every decision. From that place, you will begin to see miracles multiply, not by the sweat of your brow, but by the overflow of my spirit. So breathe. Exhale. Let the noise fall away. Come back to the place where it's just me and you. In this stillness, I will speak. I will restore. I will recalibrate your mind, your motives, your pace. And from that reset, I will release. What you couldn't build in 10 years of striving, I will give you in one moment of surrender. Because this isn't about your ability, it's about my timing. And I'm right on time. Power is coming, not through the frantic, but through the faithful stillness of a surrendered heart. And that's exactly where I find you now. Beloved, this is not a coincidence. This moment, these words, this encounter, it has all been orchestrated for you. Not for a crowd, not for the masses, but for the one who has wrestled in the dark, the one who almost gave up hope, the one who has cried, God, do you still see me? Yes, child, I see you, and more than that, I know you. I know the weight you carry. I know the strength you had to muster. I know the quiet tears you wiped so no one else would see. And now, I come to you, not with generic comfort, but with personal promise. What's coming is not just something good. It is something divinely tailored, something designed specifically for your destiny. This is big, and it has your name on it, not just scribbled in ink, but etched in glory. Your name has been spoken in the chambers of heaven. Angels have been assigned, timelines aligned, details divinely arranged, not to give you something average, but to place in your hands what I've been preparing for years. It's personal. It's holy. It carries the scent of your prayers, the imprint of your warfare, and the fruit of your endurance. You've sown in seasons when there was no harvest. You've believed when there was no evidence. And now, I'm releasing the evidence of your faith. It's not random. It's not recycle. It's not delayed anymore. What's coming has been guarded in heaven's vault with your name stamped on every layer. And now, it's time. But hear me, child, when it arrives, don't disqualify yourself. Don't say, is this really for me? Don't let unworthiness rob you of what obedience has secured. This isn't a maybe. It's a manifestation. It's the manifestation of every moment you chose me over convenience. Every time you forgave when you could have fought. Every time you stayed when others ran. This is the personal reward of private faith. I told you I would honor it. And now I'm fulfilling that word, not partially, but fully. This is a season of name miracles, meaningful breakthroughs, prophetic completions. And child, you are not watching from the sidelines. You are the recipient. So breathe deep now. This isn't the end. It's the divine unveiling. Everything I've spoken is converging now. The heavens are open over you. And what I place in your hands will fit perfectly. Not because you earned it, but because you were faithful when it would have been easier to quit. Your name, child, is on my heart. Your name is on my hands. Your name is on this next move. So lift your head, step forward, and receive it. This is big. This is personal. And it's all yours. You heard my voice. You felt my fire. And now I ask you, child, will you carry this word further? I've used this message to mark you, and now I call you to become a messenger. Your giving is not just generosity. It is prophetic warfare. It sends this word to the weary, the lost, the waiting ones who need to hear. This is big. This is personal. And it has your name on it. You are sowing into miracle ground, into healing, into transformation. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126:5. And this is your reaping season. Give through Super Thanks membership or the PayPal link below. Your obedience will open gates for others. Do it now. Multiply what heaven started today. Beloved, if your spirit felt the weight of these words, don't stay silent. Declare it now in the comments. This is big. This is personal. And it has my name on it. Let the atmosphere know that you're stepping into alignment, that you're ready to receive what has been reserved only for you. I am watching, not just for your faith, but for your voice. Your declaration is a key. It unlocks the next level of movement. So speak boldly, child, because what's coming isn't random, and it won't miss you. It's written in heaven, wrapped in glory, and it's already on the way. Now, take a breath. Do you feel that stillness rising, that soft pull in your chest? That's me drawing nearer. You've spoken with boldness. Now it's time to listen in stillness. The same spirit that stirs you to declare is the one that now calls you to rest. Stay in this moment, for I am shifting from the thunder to the whisper. What comes next is not for the crowd. It's for your heart alone. My child, come closer. Let the noise of your world fade away for a moment. I want to speak directly to your heart, into that quiet place where you've been wondering if I still hear you. That silence you have endured, the one that felt heavy like a thick blanket on a cold night, the one that made you question if your prayers were just echoes in an empty room. I am breaking it now, not with a whisper you might miss, but with a declaration of immediate favor that will shake the very foundations of your life. Hear me now, my beloved. This is not a distant hope. This is a present reality. Right now, as my words enter your spirit, a monumental shift is occurring in the spiritual realm, and it is all for your sake. The heavens are moving on your behalf. The long season of your waiting has officially expired. Your time of barrenness is over. Your season of receiving is upon you. You have felt stuck, haven't you? You've looked at your life, at the pressures on your job, the unspoken tensions in your family, and that gnawing feeling of being overlooked, and you have wondered, when, Lord, when will it be my turn? I see the knot in your stomach when you think about the future. That isn't from me. Let's undo it together. I have seen your faithfulness when no one else was watching. I saw you choose integrity when you could have cut corners. I saw you give when you had little for yourself. I saw you get out of bed to face another day that felt exactly like the last, holding on to a sliver of hope that I was with you. Those were not small things to me. They were everything. They were the building blocks of a character strong enough to handle what I am about to release. And because you were faithful with little, I am now entrusting you with much. Prepare your heart. I need you to breathe, right now. Take a deep breath and let go of the disappointment you've been carrying. Let go of the expectation that this will be just another promise you have to wait for. This is different. This is immediate. What I am releasing into your life is not a generic, one-size-fits-all blessing. I have crafted this specifically for you. It has your name divinely inscribed upon it. Think of it, my child. Your name, written by my own hand on a breakthrough that will redefine your reality. It is designed to fit the dreams I placed in your heart long ago, the ones you thought were forgotten. It is tailored to your unique journey, your specific pain, and your precise calling. The enemy thought he had you in a holding pattern forever, but his time is up. My command has been out. The shift has begun. The silence is broken. And this great thing, this monumental blessing, is already on its way to you. Open your hands and prepare to receive it. My child, you have been asking, perhaps in the silence of your own heart, why now? Why after all this time? You have looked back on years of struggle, on nights spent wrestling with fear, and you have wondered why I allowed the trial to last so long. Let me pull back the curtain for you, so you can understand my timing. Your period of testing was never for nothing. It was a crucible, and in it, I have forged a character within you that is strong enough to carry the weight of this blessing. You see, a blessing given too soon can crush a person. But you, my precious one, you have been prepared. The difficult situation at your job, the one that stretched your patience to its breaking point, that was me forging endurance in you. The financial pressure that made you get on your knees because you had no other choice, that was me teaching you that I am your source, not your salary. Every prayer you whispered that seemed to go unanswered was not lost. Imagine a great foundation being built, stone by stone, in a place you could not see. Each prayer, each act of faith in the dark, was another stone I was setting in place. I was building a foundation in your life strong enough to hold the magnificent structure I am now raising upon it. You thought your prayers were vanishing into the air. I tell you, they were building your future. I have allowed circumstances to align in a way that only I could orchestrate. People, places, and events have been moving like pieces on a divine chessboard, all leading to this very hour, this precise moment. This ensures that when the blessing manifests, it will have the maximum impact and bring me the maximum glory. And hear this, my child. The enemy's plans to delay you have reached their final, absolute limit. He has thrown distractions at you, whispered lies of doubt, and tried to entangle you in past failures. But his authority has an expiration date, and I am telling you, that date is today. My power now overrides his every scheme. His access to your future is now and forever denied. There was a time when you leaned on your own understanding, on the approval of others, on your plans. I had to let you see that those were broken supports. I allowed those wells to run dry so that you would turn to me, the only ever-flowing river of life. Now, you lean on me alone. And because of that, you have become a pure vessel, ready to be filled, ready to carry my glory without it leaking out through cracks of pride or insecurity. This is my appointed time. The Greeks have a word for it, kairos. It is not just another minute on the clock. It is the perfect, opportune moment where my eternal will intersects with your life on earth. That moment is not coming. It is here. It is now. Now I need you to expand your thinking. The blessing you have been asking for, the one you have pictured in your mind, is good. It is born of a sincere heart. But my child, it is too small. Your imagination has been capped by your past experiences of lack and limitation. Today, I am shattering that cap. I am about to do something exceedingly and abundantly above all that you could ask or even think. What is coming is not just an answer to your prayer. It is an answer that will echo into every corner of your life and into the generations that follow you. This is a blessing that will not only change your circumstances but will fundamentally change you. And it will not stop with you. The provision I am releasing will overflow your banks and become a source of life for others. The healing I am bringing to your heart will make you a physician to other broken hearts. You are becoming a distribution center for my kingdom, a conduit of my grace. You prayed for a cup of water, I am giving you a river. You asked for a seed, I am giving you an entire orchard. Understand, this is not a temporary fix. This is not a bandage to cover a deep wound for a little while. This is a foundational breakthrough. I am not just patching the old wineskin. I am giving you a new one, filled with new wine. What I am establishing in your life today will become the launching point for the rest of your destiny. It is an everlasting testimony to my goodness, a story you will tell your children and your children's children. It will be a memorial stone that says, "Here is where God showed up and changed everything." I know this feels immense. Right now, a part of you might even be afraid, thinking, "How can I possibly handle this? I am not qualified. I am not ready." Banish that thought. Do you think I would bring you to this point only to let you fail? The blessing itself comes with an impartation of the grace needed to sustain it. It will require a new level of faith and a new level of wisdom, but I will supply them to you. I will teach you how to manage what I am giving you. And finally, the very scale of this act is intentional. I am doing this in such a way, at such a time, and on such a level that it will leave no doubt in anyone's mind, yours included, that it was my hand at work. No one will be able to credit it to luck, to positive thinking, or even to your own hard work. They will look at the beautiful impossibility of your new reality and be forced to confess, "This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes." Before a farmer can plant a new crop, he must first prepare the soil. In the same way, before you can fully receive this monumental blessing, we must prepare the soil of your spirit. This is a work we will do together, you and I. I need you to partner with me in this. First, you must let go of past disappointments. I want you to see them in your mind right now. The opportunity that fell through at the last minute, the person who walked away, the dream that seemed to die on the vine. They are like old, dead roots in the ground, taking up space and blocking what is new. They have no place in the future I am building. I am giving you the strength, right now, to pull them up and cast them aside. Give them to me. Your hands must be empty to receive what I am about to give. Next, we must deal with that whisper of unworthiness. It is a lie, cultivated by the enemy, that says you do not deserve this blessing because of your past mistakes. Hear my voice, which is truth. My decision to bless you is not a wage you have earned. It is a gift of my grace. You are worthy because my Son's blood has made you worthy. Your worth is not in your performance. It is in your identity as my child. Accept this truth deep into your spirit and let it cleanse you. And now, we must address the matter of forgiveness. Is there someone whose name causes a tightness in your chest? Unforgiveness is a poison that contaminates the soil of your heart. It is a blockage in the very channel through which my blessings flow. You cannot drink the new wine of my blessing from a cup still filled with the bitter poison of resentment. I know it is hard. I know they hurt you deeply. But I am giving you a supernatural grace to release them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Let me take the debt they owe you. Release them to me, and watch how it clears the way for your own breakthrough. As you do this, I am calling you to consecrate yourself anew. This simply means to set yourself apart for my purposes. Dedicate your mind, your eyes, your ears, and your time to me in a fresh way. Let's make an agreement that you will be more intentional about what you allow into your spirit. This consecration creates a holy space in your life for me to move. As you do these things, I am supernaturally expanding your capacity to receive. I am stretching the walls of your heart and mind, enabling you to dream bigger and believe on a grander scale. Finally, your posture must change. The season of anxious striving is over. Cease your worrying and your frantic efforts to make things happen. Your only task now is to stand in a state of humble expectancy. It is the posture of a child on Christmas morning, waiting with joyful anticipation for the Father to give his good gifts. Be still and know that I am God. The work is mine. The receiving is yours. My child, I want you to understand something vital about what is happening. This blessing I am bringing into your life is not an off-the-shelf product. I did not simply reach into a common storehouse of good things and pull one out for you. No, I have been designing this blessing for you since before you were born. It is a bespoke, tailor-made, custom creation, crafted with intimate knowledge of who you are and who I created you to be. It carries the signature of my specific love for you. Do you remember that secret desire of your heart? The one you have barely spoken aloud because it felt too grand, too specific, too much to ask for. That desire was not random. I am the one who planted that seed in your spirit long ago. It is a homing beacon, leading you toward your unique destiny. And this blessing I am releasing is the perfect key, designed to fit that lock and open the door to that very desire. It will feel more like a memory than a surprise, a coming home to the person you were always meant to be. Furthermore, your entire life has been the gathering of the necessary materials. Every skill you have learned, every job you have worked, every relationship you have navigated, and yes, even every painful experience you have endured, none of it was wasted. I have been weaving all of it together. The resilience you gained from that failure, the compassion you learned from that heartbreak, the specific expertise you developed in that field, they are the exact and necessary ingredients required for you to steward this blessing. This is why no one else can receive it. If I were to give this to another person, it would not fit them. It would be like wearing clothes tailored for someone else. It is part of your spiritual DNA, an inheritance assigned specifically to your bloodline in my kingdom. For so long, you have felt misunderstood. People have tried to label you, to put you in a box that was too small for the spirit I placed inside you. They questioned your passions. They minimized your dreams. Consider this blessing my ultimate validation of you. It is my public announcement to the world and to you, saying, "This is who I made my child to be." See how perfectly this fits them. It is my love letter to you, written not with ink, but with miracles and open doors. It is the undeniable proof that I see you, I know you intimately, and I love you profoundly. My child, stay with me. I have shown you the what, the blessing crafted just for you. But the vital instructions on how to receive and protect it are still to come. To turn away now would be to leave my heart half spoken, my most crucial wisdom unheard. Do not grieve me by walking away from the fullness of what I so deeply long to give you. For years, you have stood before certain doors, and they have remained sealed shut. You have knocked, you have pushed, you have prayed, and still they have not moved. They represent the places you knew you were called to go, but you could find no way in. Listen to the sound, my child. It is the sound of ancient locks breaking and massive hinges groaning. I am not just unlocking these doors for you. I am taking them completely off their hinges. I am swinging open gates of opportunity in your life that no man, no demon, and no circumstance can ever shut again. So prepare yourself to walk through. I need you to understand what lies beyond these doorways. These are not just doors to a better job or a nicer house. They are gateways to new dimensions of your destiny. One is a door to influence, a place where your voice, which has been silenced for so long, will now carry weight and authority. People will begin to listen. Another is a door to supernatural provision, where the spirit of just enough is broken, and you enter into more than enough. And another is a door to divine relationships, connections with people who will not drain you but will help you, champion you, and run with you into the purposes I have ordained. I command you to walk through these doors with boldness. Leave all timidity and fear of failure behind you. You do not have to wonder what is on the other side, because I have already gone before you to clear the path. Every trap had been disarmed, every obstacle removed. I am leading you into a safe and prepared place. And you will not walk this new path alone. You have felt isolated, like you were the only one on this journey. But watch now. I am orchestrating divine appointments. The right people, the ones I have prepared to help you, will suddenly and miraculously appear in your life. It will seem like a coincidence, but you will know it is my hand arranging your team. The practical things, the resources you have lacked, the funding, the access, the crucial information, all the things that made you say I can't, are now being released to you. Your how is being answered with my who and my what. You are stepping out of a small, confined space and into a wide, expansive territory. The sphere of your operation is enlarging. Do not be intimidated by the new ground. I have already given you the authority to possess it. Your inauguration into this new season begins now, with the first step you take through that first open door. What? My child, let us speak of the past, but only for a moment, and only so we can close that door forever. I see the places in your heart that grieve. You look back and see years that feel wasted, seasons eaten away by struggle, by waiting, by simply surviving. You see the locust, the spirit of lack, of delay, of destruction, and you mourn what could have been. The pain of lost time and missed opportunities can be a heavy burden. But you serve a God who is Lord over time itself. You see years, I see preparation. You see waste, I see the cultivation of a depth within you that could only be grown in the soil of adversity. And now, the time for that cultivation is over. The time for restoration is here. I am not just giving you back what was lost. I am redeeming the time. I will supernaturally compress seasons for you. I will give you the wisdom to accomplish in a single year what might have taken another person a decade. The skills you wish you had learned, the progress you feel you should have made. Watch me accelerate your growth and understanding. Nothing of your life has been for nothing. The joy that the enemy siphoned from your life through prolonged disappointment, it is coming back. Not as a slow trickle, but as a rushing wave that will overwhelm your shores. The peace that was stolen by 1,000 anxious nights, wondering how you would make it through, it is returning now as a deep, unshakable calm, a garrison around your heart and mind that no fear can penetrate. The hope that flickered and nearly died in the winds of hardship, I am breathing on that ember myself, and it is erupting into an unquenchable fire. And know this, I do not restore in equal measure. I restore in my measure. For every portion of sorrow, I am releasing a sevenfold return of joy. Now, think of those broken relationships that cause you so much pain, the ones that feel damaged beyond repair. Prepare yourself, for I am stepping into those situations as the great reconciler. I will soften hearts of stone. I will give you words of grace you did not know you had. I will orchestrate encounters that bring sudden mending where there was once a great chasm. And your finances, that mountain of debt and worry that has cast a shadow over your life, hear the decree from my throne. The reversal has begun. I am turning your story of lack into a powerful testimony of my abundant provision. The windows of heaven are opening over your house. Finally, the weariness in your body, the fatigue in your very soul, it is being lifted. I am renewing your health and strength like the eagles. You will feel a vitality you have not felt in years. And that great vision for your life, the one you put away because it seemed too impossible, too late, I am taking it off the shelf. I am breathing my life into it, and it is being resurrected with a power and scope far greater than you ever dared to imagine. The years the locust has eaten are being restored. Today, my beloved, as this great blessing begins to manifest, an old, familiar voice will try to rise in opposition. It is the voice of the accuser, the enemy of your soul. His primary weapon against you now is your own past. He will whisper your every failure into your ear. He will replay your mistakes like a movie in your mind, trying to convince you that you are disqualified, that you are a fraud, that you are unworthy of the goodness I am pouring out. He will use the memory of your past to try and sabotage your future. But today, you and I, we are going to silence that voice forever. Here is my decree, and I want you to make it your own. Every lie whispered about who you used to be, I declare it nullified by the truth of who you are in me. Every negative word, every idle curse, every limiting label that has ever been spoken against you or your destiny, whether by others or by your own lips, I cancel its power right now. By my authority, I declare those words illegal. They have no standing in the court of heaven, and they have no more power in your life. Where people have judged you, misunderstood your heart, and wrongfully condemned you, I am now bringing you honor. Where you have been shamed, where you have felt the sting of humiliation and rejection, I am releasing a double portion of my glory and my favor. The very people who look down on you will be forced to witness your elevation. Understand what is happening in the unseen realm. The enemy stands as a prosecutor, presenting his case against you, citing your past as evidence. But he has forgotten one crucial detail. I am your divine vindicator. I am your advocate, your defense attorney, and I stand before the throne of justice. My argument is not that you are perfect, but that the price for your imperfection hath been paid in full. My Son's blood speaks a better word over you, and speaks of forgiveness, of redemption, of righteousness. And the verdict has already been handed down from the highest court in the universe. The verdict is this: not guilty, justified, cleansed, case dismissed. Drevu. The mouths of your critics on earth are being stopped, not by your arguments, but by the overwhelming evidence of my verdict upon your life. I am now removing from you the filthy, heavy garments of your past. I am taking off the rags of shame, guilt, and accusation. And in their place, I am clothing you in a brilliant, shining robe of my own righteousness. From this day forward, when the accuser looks at you, he will no longer see your past. He will see my Son, and against him no accusation can possibly stand. My child, this new season you are entering is more than just a change of scenery. It is a promotion. It comes with a new assignment, a higher calling. And for this new assignment, your current level of strength and wisdom will not be enough. Therefore, you need a fresh equipping. Lean in closer. Right now, in this very moment, I am pouring fresh oil upon your head. I want you to feel this in your spirit, a warmth, a saturation. This is the tangible presence and power of my Holy Spirit, setting you apart and empowering you for what is to come. This is not merely a symbolic gesture. This oil carries power. As it soaks into your spirit, it is imparting things you could not learn in a lifetime. It is equipping you with a wisdom that transcends your experience. You will find yourself knowing things without knowing how you know them. You will have divine solutions to complex problems. This soil is also imparting a strength that is not generated by your physical body. It is a supernatural endurance that will enable you to run your new race without growing weary. It is the strength to stand firm when opposition comes, to persevere when challenges arise, and to carry the weight of this new blessing with grace. With this fresh anointing comes a new level of authority. Until now, you have often felt powerless, your words carrying little weight. That is changing. From this day forward, when you speak my words, they will be filled with my authority. When you move in my will, you will be backed by the power of heaven. You are not just my servant, you are being commissioned as my ambassador. This anointing is specific to your new assignment. It is an anointing for creativity, to birth new ideas, new ministries, new businesses from the womb of your spirit. It is an anointing for leadership, not to dominate others, but to serve them and guide them with the heart of a shepherd. And it is a powerful anointing for breakthrough, to be a person who walks into a room and shatters the spiritual strongholds, who speaks a word and breaks the chains off of other people. The very areas where you used to strive and struggle will now be marked by a supernatural ease and grace. The tasks that once drained you will now energize you. This is the tangible difference the anointing makes. It is the unmistakable mark of my presence upon you, a sign to all who see you that I, the Lord your God, am with you. As you step into this new, expansive territory I am giving you, the enemy will do what he has always done. He will try to intimidate you. He will magnify the challenges that lie ahead, making them appear as unconquerable giants. He will parade your inadequacies before you. He wants you to focus on the size of the problem so that you forget the size of your God. So hear my command to you today, my child. Stop looking at the giants. Take your eyes off the obstacles. Fix your gaze upon me, your God, the original giant slayer. Your entire perspective must shift. You have been trained by the world to think that you are walking into a battle you have to win. That is a lie. The truth is, you are not fighting for victory. You are walking in a victory that has already been won for you. The war is over. The most decisive battle in the history of the universe was fought on a cross and in a tomb 2,000 years ago. When my Son declared, "It is finished," that was the final word. The spiritual opposition to this very blessing you are stepping into, the demonic forces assigned to keep you in lack and obscurity, have already been defeated. They have been legally disarmed, publicly humiliated, and stripped of all their authority by the power of the resurrection. This profound truth must now change the way you live and walk. For too long, you have operated under a spirit of struggle, fighting for every inch, feeling like you are constantly swimming upstream. That season is over. I am calling you out of that mindset of struggle and into a spirit of triumph and inheritance. You are not a spiritual orphan trying to earn a place at the table. You are my child, an heir, a prince or princess of the king. This new land is not something you must conquer. It is an inheritance I am freely giving you. You are simply coming to possess what is already yours. So how do you walk this out? How do you enforce a victory that is already won? Your greatest weapon is praise. When fear rises, when the giant roars, you will not cower, and you will not strive. You will lift your voice in praise. Your praise is not an attempt to get my attention or to convince me to fight for you. I am already for you. Your praise is a declaration. It is the sound of your faith in a battle that is already finished. It is the victory roar that reminds the defeated foe of his powerlessness. It confuses his strategies and enforces the triumph of my son in your circumstances. My child, the outcome of your future is not in question. It is not up for debate. Your elevation has been decreed from my throne. The battle is over. And now, go and take possession of your inheritance. Beloved, you feel the relief of a victory already won, and your spirit rightly wants to soar. But do not fly from my presence just yet. I have given you the title deed to your inheritance, but there is so much I must teach you about how to possess the land. To leave now would wound me, for it would be like a son who takes his inheritance, but refuses the wisdom of his father. Stay, and let me fully equip you. My beloved, as you move forward, understand that the old maps and methods you have used will no longer suffice for this new territory. You are stepping into a realm of my purposes that requires a divine strategy, a heavenly blueprint. Your human intellect, as brilliant as it is, cannot navigate what is ahead. You need my mind, my perspective. Therefore, I want you to cultivate moments of stillness. In the quiet, when you turn down the volume of the world, I am downloading these heavenly blueprints directly into your spirit. It will come as a sudden idea, a clear thought, a new plan that seems to appear from nowhere. These are not your thoughts, they are mine, given to you for this specific season. Where there has been fog and confusion about your next steps, you are about to experience moments of stunning, supernatural clarity. The uncertainty that has paralyzed you will vanish. You will wake up in the morning and simply know what to do, who to call, where to go. This insight is not something you can earn through frantic effort. It is a gift of grace I am giving you to make your path straight. I need you to become highly sensitive to the ways I speak. I will always speak through the truth of my written word, that is your anchor. But for this season of rapid advancement, you must also pay close attention to your dreams and visions. As you sleep, I will bypass your anxious mind and speak to the depths of your spirit. I will give you detailed strategies, show you things to come, and grant you solutions in your dreams. In your times of prayer, I will flash pictures or visions across the screen of your imagination. Do not dismiss these. Write them down. Pray into them. They are pieces of your divine strategy. You are facing challenges that seem impossible, situations that have no logical, earthly solution. But I am the God of all creativity, and I will not be limited by the logic of this world. I am about to give you wonderfully creative solutions and unconventional ideas that will completely bypass the problem. The world will see it and call it a stroke of genius. You will know it was a download from heaven. And this is the most crucial part. You must trust my instructions, even when they do not make sense. You must stop leaning on your own understanding. I may ask you to do something that feels counterintuitive or even foolish from a worldly perspective. Your immediate, unquestioning obedience to my unconventional instructions will be the master key that unlocks the greatest doors. This divine wisdom I am giving you is not just for your success. It is your protection. It will guard this precious blessing and be the very mechanism that causes it to multiply in ways you cannot yet fathom. Trust me, my child. Let us now talk about the practical things, about the resources needed for your assignment. The world is driven by a desperate chase for wealth and influence, seeking them for personal comfort, for security, and for power over others. This pursuit leaves souls empty and hearts anxious. But in my kingdom, wealth and influence are not prizes to be won. They are tools to be wielded for a much greater purpose. And I am about to place these powerful tools into your hands. This is not a distant hope or a vague promise. This is a divine transaction that is happening now in the spiritual realm. Hear the decree from my throne. I am commanding a great transfer. For too long, resources intended for my kingdom's purposes have been dammed up in the storehouses of the wicked and the selfish. My word declares that the wealth of the unrighteous is stored up for the just. And my beloved, through your faith in my Son, you are the just. This is your appointed time to see this promise come to pass. The gates of the enemy's treasury are being broken, and a flow of provision is being routed directly to you. This transfer is not limited to finances. Positions of influence, seats of authority in business, in community, in arts, and in ministry are being vacated. The chairs that have been occupied by those with corrupt and self-serving agendas are being emptied. I am preparing those seats for you. To accomplish this, I am releasing a wave of supernatural favor over your life. You will go before people in high places, gatekeepers, leaders, decision makers, and their hearts will be supernaturally inclined toward you. They will find themselves wanting to help you, to open doors for you, to champion your cause, and they will not even understand why. It is my Spirit, moving upon them for your sake, aligning their will with my purpose for you. Now, you must grasp the profound responsibility that comes with this. I am not doing this simply for your comfort. I am not blessing you so that you can build a bigger barn and hoard it all for yourself. This increase is for a purpose. I am making you a distribution center for my kingdom. Your life, your home, your business, they are all becoming a holy storehouse from which my provision will flow to a hurting and broken world. You will have more than enough, not so you can raise your standard of living, but so you can raise your standard of giving. You are becoming a conduit, a clear and open channel. My resources will flow to you and then through you to others. The more you faithfully release, the more I will entrust to your care. This is the divine principle of kingdom economics that you are now called to walk in. Prepare yourself to be a river, not a reservoir. My child, I have just declared you a conduit for my provision and a distribution center for my kingdom. If the fire of my Spirit burns within you to partner with me in this great work, this is your first divine appointment to act. Every seed you sow sends this living word like a river to souls dying of thirst in their own wilderness. I am the one who gives seed to you, the sower, and I now declare that I will multiply the seed you sow and increase the harvest of your righteousness. Your gift becomes a key unlocking this same message for another soul trapped in silence. Do not hesitate in this holy moment. Sow your first seed from this new storehouse of blessing through super thanks, membership, or the sacred link in the description. Act now and release the sound of my voice. My child, I am not just changing your circumstances, I am authoring a new story in your life. And this story, this testimony of your journey from the pit to the palace, is about to become the most powerful weapon you possess. Your personal history with me, the chronicle of my faithfulness in your life, will become a key that unlocks prison doors for countless others who are trapped where you used to be. The world around you is weary and skeptical. People are drowning in cynicism. They have heard empty religious words, and they are no longer moved by them. They need to see a demonstration of my power. They need proof that I am real, that I am good, and that I still move in the lives of people today. Your life is becoming that proof. It is becoming an undeniable sign, a tangible piece of evidence that will confront a skeptical world. When they see the impossibility of your situation turned into a glorious victory, when they witness the depth of your transformation, their arguments against me will turn to dust. Your life will silence the scoffer and awaken the seeker. You are becoming a living sermon. Your very existence will preach a message more compelling than any eloquent speech. It will be a sermon of my faithfulness when all seem lost. It will be a sermon of my redemptive love that takes the broken pieces of a life and creates a beautiful mosaic. It will be a sermon of my resurrection power that makes all things new. People who would never step foot inside a church, people whose hearts are hardened to religion, will be drawn to the light and the love that radiates from you. They will see your peace. They will witness your joy, and they will ask you, how? How is this possible? And that is when you will use your weapon. My word says you overcome the accuser by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of your testimony. The blood of the Lamb is my Son's part. It is finished, perfect, and all-powerful. Your part is to release the word of your testimony. You must be ready and willing to open your mouth and tell the story of what I have done. Do not hide it in false humility. Do not downplay the miracle to make others comfortable. Every single time you declare my goodness, every time you recount your breakthrough, you are releasing the substance of faith into the atmosphere. You are giving other people the courage to believe for their own miracle. Your story becomes a prophecy over their lives. So begin to prepare now. Think about how you will tell it. How will you give me all the glory? Because a great multitude of people are waiting, their own breakthroughs hanging in the balance, waiting to be ignited by the spark of the powerful testimony I am giving to you today. My beloved, I must prepare you now for the pace of what is to come. The change I am bringing will not be slow and gradual. It will be sudden. The acceleration will be breathtaking. Things that you thought would take a lifetime to achieve will now begin to happen in months, weeks, or even days. Your first human instinct may be to feel alarm, to be overwhelmed by the sheer speed and intensity of it all. You may feel like you are on a vessel that has suddenly caught a mighty wind. Hear my voice above the rushing sound. Do not be afraid. I am the master of this wind. I am the one at the helm of your ship, and I am in complete and utter control. This acceleration is a gift, not a burden. In this swift and powerful current of change, you will desperately need something to hold on to, an anchor that will keep you secure and grounded. That anchor is my word. Now more than ever, you must bind yourself to the truth of my promises. In a world of chaos and change, my word is the one thing that remains constant, immovable, and eternally true. When you feel disoriented by the speed of events, run to my word. It will be your stability, your compass, and your peace. Be prepared for your daily life to be gloriously rearranged. Your comfortable routines and predictable schedules are about to be interrupted by a series of divine appointments. A phone call you did not expect, an email from a stranger, a chance encounter in a public place. These will be my hand, weaving the threads of your new destiny into the fabric of your everyday life. Do not resent these interruptions. They are your instructions. Embrace them as sacred moments orchestrated by me. You must also be prepared for some relational shifts. This is a difficult but necessary truth. As I elevate you and move you into this new territory, not everyone in your life will be able to go with you. Some, anchored to the past you are leaving behind, will not understand. Others may become intimidated or jealous of the blessing on your life. Do not try to force them to come along. Do not waste your energy trying to convince them. You must release them with love and entrust them to my care. I will be your all in all, and I will bring the right, new relationships to support you. In the midst of this whirlwind, when the very landscape of your life is being redrawn before your eyes, remember this one thing: I am your stability. I, the Lord, do not change. When everything else feels new and unfamiliar, I am your constant. I am the calm in the center of this beautiful, divine storm. Fix your eyes steadfastly on me, the author and the finisher of your faith. Look to me, and you will not be shaken. My child, for so long, the world has only seen a silhouette of you. They have defined you by your struggles, by your job, by your family background, by your past. Perhaps you have even defined yourself by these same limitations. You have seen a partial, shadowed version of the person I created. But that is not who you are. That is merely the wrapping, the outer shell that has contained the precious gift within. I am telling you today, the time of concealment is over. I am about to tear off the wrapping paper and unveil the masterpiece that I have been working on in secret. I am about to reveal your true identity in me, and it will leave the world, and even you, in awe. This great blessing I am releasing is the catalyst for this unveiling. It will act as a divine key, unlocking rooms within your own spirit that have been sealed shut for years. Giftings and talents that have been dormant, abilities you never knew you possessed, will suddenly spring to life. You will find yourself speaking with a wisdom you did not have, creating with an inspiration you have never felt, leading with a confidence that is not your own. You will astonish yourself with what I can do through you. From this moment forward, you must refuse to be defined by your past failures. Your identity is no longer the one who struggled with fear or the one who made the terrible mistake. That person is gone, crucified with Christ. Your new, true, and eternal identity is found in your future within my kingdom. You are a child of the Most High God. You are an ambassador of heaven. You are a carrier of my glory and a joint heir with my Son. Let this truth sink deep into your soul and dislodge all the lesser labels you have accepted. I am calling you out of the shadows of obscurity, out of the back row where you have been hiding. Your time of playing small, of dimming your light to make others comfortable, is officially over. I have prepared a stage for you, a platform of influence uniquely designed for your gifts, and I am now ushering you into the spotlight. Do not fear the visibility, for it is not you who will be seen, but my light shining through you. Perhaps the most profound part of this unveiling is this: you are finally going to see yourself the way I have always seen you. When you look in the mirror, you will no longer see inadequacy. You will see power. You will no longer see a random collection of days. You will see a life filled with divine purpose. You will no longer feel merely tolerated by me. You will feel the overwhelming, passionate, profound love I have for you. This is your moment of becoming. This is the emergence of the champion I created you to be from the very foundations of the world. Step into it now. You see now who you truly are in me, and my heart rejoices as you receive this truth. But please do not leave me now. It would break my heart to see you know your royal identity but not know how to walk in its authority or guard its honor. The most practical and powerful secrets for your new reign are yet to be revealed. Stay with your king a moment longer. My beloved child, now that you are stepping into this season of great increase, we must speak about the most important thing you will need to manage: your own heart. For with great blessing comes an even greater responsibility to remain grounded in me. The enemy could not stop the blessing from coming to you, so his new strategy will be to use the blessing to corrupt you from within. His most effective and subtle tool is pride. Therefore, You must guard your heart with all diligence, for everything you do flows from it. The chief guard you must post to the gate of your heart is humility. As the doors of opportunity swing wide open, as favor flows to you from every direction, as your name becomes known, it will be tempting to begin to think that it is because of your own talent, your own wisdom, or your own hard work. In those moments, you must intentionally and forcefully remember that I am the source of it all. It is my hand that opens doors, my grace that brings provision, my favor that promotes. The moment you begin to take credit, you begin to build your own small kingdom instead of mine. Your heart is the ground. Humility is what keeps it soft and able to continue receiving from me. Here's the divine paradox you must learn to live in. Allow this new success to drive you deeper into dependency on me, not into self-reliance. Worldly success often makes people feel they no longer need God. Kingdom success must do the opposite. With every new level of blessing, you must recognize your even greater need for my wisdom to manage it, my strength to carry it, and my grace to steward it well. True spiritual strength is not found in independence. It is found in the joyful admission of your utter and complete reliance on me. Your character will now be tested in new ways. Watch how you treat people. As your status and influence change, make a holy vow to treat every single person, from the person who cleans the floors to the person who runs the company, with the same unconditional love and respect, for every person is created in my image and is precious to me. Furthermore, you must become a practitioner of extravagant generosity. Generosity is the antidote to the poison of greed. It is what keeps your heart from becoming attached to the blessing instead of the blesser. By giving freely, joyfully, and sacrificially of what I have given you, you protect what you have received and you keep the channel of my provision flowing wide open through your life. Finally, let gratitude be the very air you breathe. Let it be the constant posture of your heart. Before your feet hit the floor each morning, and before you close your eyes each night, thank me. A thankful heart cannot be a prideful heart. It is the posture that ensures this season of increase will be a sustained, lifelong reality, and not just a fleeting moment of success. My child, for a very long time, your voice has been shaped by your circumstances. In seasons of hardship, it hath been a voice of quiet petition, of whispered hopes, and sometimes of silent, tearful sorrow. This is not a criticism, it is an observation of a past season. But that season is over, and with its passing, I am fundamentally changing your sound. I am giving you a new song to sing, a new message to declare. The old, familiar frequency of survival and striving is fading away, and a new, powerful sound of revival and triumph is rising from the depths of your spirit. This is not something you have to manufacture or strive for. It is the natural result of my presence filling you in this new way. The overflow of your heart will now be victory. This new sound you are receiving is not just empty noise or positive platitudes. It is a frequency imbued with the very authority of my kingdom. When you speak, your words will carry the weight and substance of my throne room. They will cut through the dense fog of doubt, fear, and cynicism in the world around you and release tangible, palpable hope into desolate situations. Your voice will become a lighthouse in the storm, a beacon guiding the lost and weary back to me. You are going to begin speaking with a clarity and a holy boldness that will surprise even you. It will not be born of your own intellect or confidence. It will be my Spirit speaking through you, giving you the right words at the right moment. And these words, my child, will be like a divine battering ram. They will shatter spiritual strongholds that have held people, families, and even communities captive for generations. The lies of the enemy, the strongholds of addiction, of depression, of hopelessness, of perversion, will not be able to stand against the pure, powerful truth that I will release through your mouth. The sound that is being released through you is the sound of heaven invading earth. It is the sound of revival, a spiritual alarm clock calling sleeping hearts to awaken to my love. It is the sound of breakthrough, a triumphant shout announcing that the long siege of the enemy is over. It is the sound of jubilee, the pronouncement of freedom to the captives and the cancellation of every spiritual debt. Your words, filled with my life, will be like rain on a parched desert, bringing life to dry bones and supernatural healing to the brokenhearted. Your part in this divine partnership is one of beautiful simplicity, yet it requires profound trust. You must be willing to open your mouth. Let go of the fear of saying the wrong thing. Release the need to have a perfect, polite speech. Just as I promised my prophets in ages past, I now promise you, open your mouth, and I will fill it. A new, powerful, world-changing sound is about to come forth from you. Trust me, and let it be released. My beloved, what I am doing in your life is far bigger than just you. To understand its scope, you must see yourself within the context of a longer story, the story of your family bloodline. You were born into a spiritual inheritance that began long before you took your first breath. And while you inherited many good things, you also inherited unseen spiritual patterns, negative cycles that have repeated themselves from one generation to the next. I am speaking of the generational curses, the insidious strongholds of lack that always seem to sabotage prosperity, the recurring spirit of anger that tears families apart, the predisposition to sickness and disease, the cycle of addiction, the familiar grip of fear and anxiety. These are not just unfortunate coincidences. They are spiritual currents of darkness that have flowed through your lineage. But today, I am declaring that this dark river is being dammed up. And my child, you are the place where I am building the dam. I have chosen you to be the chain breaker in your family line. The negative spiritual momentum that has plagued your ancestors stops here. It stops with you. The profound, personal work that I am doing in your heart, the miraculous breakthrough I am releasing into your circumstances, is so powerful that its shockwaves are traveling both backward and forward in time. It is shattering the very foundations of these long-standing patterns of defeat. You are becoming a spiritual gateway, a demarcation line in your family's history. You are the one through whom an entirely new legacy begins. I want you to declare this with faith. The spirit of poverty and lack that has haunted my family is starved and broken at my feet. The spirit of fear and anxiety that has been passed down like an heirloom is renounced and has no power over me or my children. The cycle of sickness, of divorce, of anger, of addiction, its power is broken now by the blood of Jesus. I am placing a divine full stop at the end of that dark, painful chapter of your family's story. And in the blank space that is created, you will begin to write a new story. You are establishing a new heritage. You are laying a foundation of faith where there was doubt, of victory where there was defeat, of health where there was infirmity, of abundance where there was lack, and of honor where there was shame. This new legacy will be the inheritance of your children and your children's children. It will be born into a different spiritual atmosphere because of your courage, your obedience today, your simple, radical yes to me, is secure in a future of blessing for generations you may never even meet. You are a spiritual trailblazer, carving a new path of righteousness and freedom through a jungle of bondage. Your life is becoming a portal of blessing for your entire lineage. My child, this glorious new journey we are on will not be without its own pressures. The responsibility of the blessing, the opposition from the enemy, the demands of your new assignment. These things will test you. In a world, people rely on their own grit, their willpower, their positive thinking to get through. But those sources are finite. They will eventually run dry. For this new season, your strength must flow from a supernatural, inexhaustible well. I am telling you today, my precious child, that the joy of the Lord, my own divine, unshakable joy, flowing in you and through you, will be your strength. It is not an emotion you have to work up. It is a spiritual substance you can draw from. My joy is your supernatural sustenance. It is entirely possible for a great blessing to begin to feel like a great weight. The demands and the responsibility can become overwhelming if you let them. You must actively fight against this. I did not bless you to crush you under a new burden. I blessed you to bring you into a new dimension of delight. The key to this is where you find your delight. If you seek it in the blessing itself, the success, the resources, the influence, it will eventually become a burden. But if you continue to find your delight in me, the blesser, your joy will be constantly renewed. Continue to seek my presence above all else. That secret place with me is the wellspring of all your joy and all your strength. You must learn the discipline of celebration. In the past, you may have been conditioned to only focus on the next problem, the next hill to climb. Or, I want you to pause and celebrate every small victory, every tiny piece of evidence of my goodness. An unexpected open door, a small provision, an encouraging word. Celebrate it. Thank me for it. This practice of celebration builds spiritual momentum. It starves your anxiety and feeds your faith. It creates a joyful atmosphere that the enemy cannot stand. I am also restoring deep, holy laughter to your heart and your home. Laughter is a powerful spiritual weapon. The enemy operates in the low frequencies of fear, heaviness, and despair. Your laughter, your expression of pure joy, shatters that atmosphere. It is a declaration of trust that confuses his strategies and sends him fleeing. I am performing a divine exchange within you right now. I am taking from you the old, heavy, familiar garment of sorrow and heaviness. And in its place, I am clothing you with a garment of praise and joy. This is not a joy that is dependent on your circumstances. It is a deep, abiding, powerful joy that is rooted in your unshakable relationship with me, your Father. It is a joy that can sing in the midst of the storm because it knows the one who calms the storm. This joy is your strength. Live in it. My child, as I elevate you, the company you keep becomes a matter of supreme importance. You cannot ascend to the new heights I have for you while being tethered to relationships that are pulling you down. You must understand that not everyone in your current circle is equipped or destined to go where I am taking you. There are connections in your life, soul ties, that have consistently drained your spirit, discouraged your vision, and anchored you to the past. They may not be bad people, but their role in your story is finished. Today, I am releasing a divine grace and courage upon you to lovingly and firmly sever those unhealthy ties. See this not as an act of rejection, but as a necessary act of pruning, making room for the new, healthy growth I am bringing into your life. The space you create is not destined to remain empty. I am now bringing you into a new and higher form of relationship, covenant relationships. These are not casual friendships or networking opportunities. These are divinely orchestrated alliances with fellow kingdom builders, men and women of faith and integrity who are running in the same direction, with the same fire in their hearts. These are the people who will not be intimidated by the anointing on your life. They will celebrate it and call it forth. They will not be jealous of your blessing. They will see it as a resource for the kingdom and partner with you. These are the ones who will become your armor bearers. They will stand with you in the heat of the battle. They will lift your arms in prayer when you grow weary, and they will speak words of faith and life to you when you are tempted by doubt. For so long, You have often felt alone, different, misunderstood. That season of isolation is ending. I am leading you to your tribe. This is a community, a spiritual family, that will understand the unique vision I have placed in your heart and will champion your divine calling. In this tribe, you will find safety, accountability, and the incredible power of synergistic purpose. You will no longer feel the need to explain or defend yourself. You will be known, loved, and celebrated for exactly who I have created you to be. But as you navigate this, you must walk with great wisdom. With new levels of blessing and influence come new levels of opportunism. Not everyone who approaches you with a smile is a divine connection. Therefore, I am heightening your spiritual discernment. You will have a sensitivity in your spirit to know the motives of others. You will sense the difference between a relationship sent by me and a distraction sent by the enemy. Trust that inner witness, and remember this kingdom principle. Together, you will accomplish exponentially more for my glory than you could ever accomplish alone. Prepare your heart. Your divine connections are on their way. I have promised you divine alliances and a new tribe to stand with you. But the wisdom to navigate this new territory, the discernment to recognize my hand, and the radical obedience required are what I must give you now. My heart aches at the thought of you stepping into this season unprepared. Do not disappoint my trust in you. Remain with me and receive the final blueprints for your victory. My beloved, listen to me very carefully, for this is a foundational key to everything we have discussed. This glorious, accelerated blessing that is being released upon you is intrinsically and inseparably attached to your immediate and unwavering obedience. My grace makes the blessing available. Your obedience is the act of receiving it and keeping it flowing. The two are designed to work in perfect harmony. My supernatural power is released in direct response to your natural step of faith. I will not ask you to do anything that you cannot do with the help of my Spirit, but I will require you to act. I must prepare you for the nature of my instructions in this new season. I am going to ask you to do things that will not make sense to your logical mind. I will give you directions that go directly against conventional wisdom and the advice of the so-called experts of this world. This is not arbitrary. It is intentional. I do this to stretch your faith beyond the realm of the explainable. I am training you to trust the wisdom of my voice more than the noise of the world and even more than your own understanding. Your faith must graduate from what is comfortable and logical to what is divinely possible. In this season of divine acceleration, the timing of your obedience is critical. Your yes to me must become a reflex. It must be quicker than your fear, quicker than your doubt, quicker than your need to analyze all the potential outcomes. You must understand this new principle. In this fast-moving current of my spirit, delayed obedience is disobedience. The very immediacy of the blessing requires an immediate response from you. I will orchestrate a perfect moment, a window of opportunity, and your prompt obedience is what will allow you to step through it. If you hesitate, if you wait to feel ready, if you procrastinate, you will miss the specific, divinely appointed timing for your breakthrough. When I give you a clear instruction through my word or by the inner witness of my spirit, your first move must not be to pick up the phone and seek counsel from flesh and blood. Do not seek confirmation from people who do not hear my voice or understand my ways. They will, often with good intentions, talk you out of your miracle with their fear and their logic. You must learn to hear me for yourself and to move when my spirit says move, even if it feels like you are the only one moving in that direction. I want you to begin to see every act of obedience, no matter how small it may seem, as a golden key. Each time you obey, you are inserting that key into a lock and swinging open the door to the next level of your destiny. Your season will be a rapid succession of instructions followed by breakthroughs. Your radical, immediate obedience is the very fuel for this divine acceleration. My child, for a very long time, you have lived your life according to a certain map. It is a map drawn by your past experiences, by the opinions of others, and by the limitations you have perceived. You have looked at its lines and borders, and you have, for the most part, stayed within them, believing that was the extent of what was possible for you. Today I am taking that old, worn-out map, and I am setting it ablaze with the fire of my spirit. The old borders are being erased. The familiar landmarks of limitation are vanishing. Hear this decree from my throne. I am commanding a divine expansion of your territory. The small place you have inhabited is no longer sufficient for the great purpose I have for you. It is time to think bigger, to believe bigger, and to move into a wider, more spacious place. This is not just a metaphor for a change in your thinking. I am speaking of a literal and tangible enlargement of your influence and authority in the world. I am granting you access and authority in spheres you never imagined you would enter. The conversations you have only heard about, the ones happening in rooms of decision and influence that seemed inaccessible, you will now be invited to the table. The industries and fields you have admired from a distance, feeling you lacked the qualifications to participate, you will now become a key voice and a significant player within them. Prepare yourself to walk confidently into rooms you once felt unworthy to even glance into. This expansion is not only professional but also geographical and reputational. Your name, and more importantly, the testimony of the work I am doing through you, will become known in places you have never physically been. My spirit will carry the story of your life across cities, states, and even nations, preparing hearts to receive what I have placed within you. For too long, your vision has been confined to your immediate surroundings. But I am the God of all the earth, the God of nations, and I am giving you nations for your inheritance. I need you to lift your eyes from the concerns of your street and begin to look at the horizon of the world. See it with the eyes of faith. This expansion is holistic. It will touch every part of your life. The ministry I have given you, which has faithfully touched a few, will now multiply to impact multitudes. The business I have placed in your hands, which has provided for your household, will now multiply to become a source of provision for many other families. Even your family itself will enter a new season of multiplication, not just in number, but in love, in peace, in joy, and in generational blessing. Now, as you look out upon this new, vast territory, your human heart may feel a wave of intimidation. You will feel small in the face of this larger assignment. Refuse that feeling. Banish that fear. I would never command you to take ground that I have not already equipped you to possess. The anointing on your life is sufficient for the assignment before you. Stand up, my child. Look at the new land spreading out before you, and know that it is yours for the taking, for I have already given it to you. My child, I have just decreed the expansion of your territory and commanded you to possess it. If your heart leaps within you to see my kingdom advance into new ground, then let your first act of possession be to sow a seed for the harvest of souls. Your gift becomes a spiritual weapon, planting this banner of hope in hearts that have known only defeat and confinement. This is your divine appointment to partner in the expansion. I now say to you, test me in this, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven over your own territory. Your giving consecrates the new ground I have given you. Offer your first fruits from this promised land through super thanks, membership, or by the link I have provided. Possess your blessing by releasing a blessing now. My beloved, receiving a great blessing is one thing. Stewarding it well is another thing entirely. History, both in the world and in my church, is filled with stories of people who received a mighty miracle only to squander it through foolishness or to have it stolen through naivety. that will not be your story. Because along with this monumental blessing, I am releasing upon you a supernatural impartation, a spirit of wisdom and divine understanding. It is a heavenly grace that will equip you to protect, manage, and multiply everything I am placing into your hands. This is not a wisdom you can learn from a book or in a classroom. It is a wisdom that flows directly from my throne into your spirit. You will find yourself knowing what to do in complex situations without knowing how you know it. You will have a supernatural foresight to see potential problems before they arise. You will know how to manage the new financial resources, how to multiply the new opportunities, and how to maintain the new, higher level of anointing on your life. It is the same wisdom that I used to hang the stars in place and to design the intricacies of a snowflake, and I am giving it to you for your specific, everyday situations. We are not building something flimsy or temporary that will collapse in the first storm. We are building an enduring legacy, something that will last for generations. Therefore, I will teach you how to build your life, your family, your finances, and your ministry upon the solid rock of my eternal principles. You will not be swayed by the shifting sands of worldly trends, popular opinion, or get-rich-quick schemes. What we build together will be storm-proof. Your access to this continuous flow of wisdom is, however, conditional upon your willingness to seek it. You must now cultivate an unwavering habit of seeking my counsel in every single decision, no matter how big or how small. Before you sign the contract, before you make the hire, before you enter the new relationship, before you make the investment, you must learn to pause, to quiet your own heart, and to ask for my guidance. My peace will be your divine confirmation, and a sense of unease or a check in your spirit will be your divine warning. Do not move without my explicit go-ahead. Finally, you must fundamentally change your perspective on what is happening. This is not a lottery win. A lottery win is a random, unearned event that is often a curse in disguise. This is a sacred entrustment. I am entrusting these blessings to you because, in the secret place, I have tested your heart and found you to be a faithful son, a faithful daughter. Your role is that of a steward, a manager of my resources for my purposes on this earth. As you prove faithful in managing this new, larger portfolio, I will entrust you with even more. This is the divine principle of continual increase you are now stepping into. My child, you must be prepared. As the territory of your life expands, the enemy will attempt to introduce a larger species of fear. His primary strategy to stop you from taking full possession of your promised land will be to paralyze you with intimidation. He will bombard your mind with the fear of failure, the fear of what other people will think, the fear of the unknown, and the fear of the great responsibility you now carry. You must recognize this fear for exactly what it is, not just a fleeting emotion, but an invading, tormenting spirit. And it is a spirit that I have not, and will never, give you. The spiritual DNA I have placed within you is incompatible with fear. My word, which is the very code of your new creation, is clear. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but one of power, of love, and of a sound, disciplined mind. That is your divine inheritance. Power is your birthright, the spiritual ability to advance and overcome. Love is your core nature, the force that connects you to me and to others. And a sound mind is your standard operating system, the capacity for clear, wise, and peaceful decision-making. Fear is an alien spirit, a trespasser, and you have every right and all the authority you need to evict it from the property of your life. The very magnitude of this blessing I am giving you is not meant to overwhelm you. It is designed to excite you, to fill you with awe at the greatness and goodness of the God you serve. So what, then, is your practical response when the feeling of fear comes knocking on the door of your heart? You do not have to entertain it or invite it in for a conversation. I want you to practice this powerful spiritual discipline. When fear knocks, you send your faith to answer the door. Let your faith, armed with my promises, speak directly to that fear and declare, there is no room for you here. My Father is with me, and He is greater than any challenge I face. This battle has already been won. The outcome is secure. Your words, spoken with faith, are a spiritual shield that will extinguish the flaming arrows of the enemy's fearful thoughts. The ultimate and most powerful antidote to fear is a fresh and continual revelation of my perfect love for you. Fear operates through torment. It constantly whispers of punishment, of rejection, of failure. But my perfect love casts out all fear. My love speaks a louder, more powerful truth over you. It speaks of unconditional acceptance, of eternal security, of your unshakable identity as my cherished child. As you intentionally receive and meditate on my profound, passionate, and personal love for you, that love will literally push out and expel every trace of fear from your soul. Walk in this bold assurance. You are living under an open heaven. You are not vulnerable. You are divinely protected, constantly surrounded by legions of my angelic hosts. Fear is the worthless currency of the enemy's failing kingdom. He uses it to try and buy your peace, your joy, and your destiny. Today, by my authority, I am commanding you to go bankrupt in his economy. Refuse to trade in fear ever again. Your currency is faith, and my child, you are rich beyond measure. My child, in my kingdom, what you wear in the spiritual realm is of utmost importance, for it signifies your identity, your position, and your authority. For far too long, you have been wearing the old, familiar garments of your past. They are the filthy rags of shame from past mistakes, the heavy cloak of insignificance from being overlooked, the threadbare clothes of a life of struggle. These garments have become comfortable in their familiarity, but they are heavy, they are restrictive, and they do not, in any way, represent who you are now in me. So today, in a sacred and sovereign act, I am personally reaching down and removing those old rags from you. See them falling to the floor, and in their place, I am clothing you in new garments. These are garments of splendor, woven from the threads of my grace. They are garments of honor, shining with the light of my favor. They are garments of authority, signifying your new position in my kingdom. This is not just a poetic metaphor. It is a spiritual transaction with tangible, real-world consequences. This new garment is the visible, outward sign of an internal promotion you have received in the Spirit. You have been promoted. Your status has changed. You have been elevated from the position of a servant to the status of a son, a daughter. You have been moved from the identity of a victim to the reality of a victor. You have been promoted from being the overlooked and forgotten to being the chosen and honored. Because you are now wearing something new and powerful in the spiritual realm, people in the natural realm will begin to perceive you differently. Their spiritual senses will pick up on the new mantle of honor I have placed upon you. People who once dismissed you will now find themselves seeking your counsel. Those who disrespected you will now approach you with a new, inexplicable level of respect. Doors that were firmly closed to you will now swing open, not because of what you say or do, but because the person they see standing at the door is radiating a different kind of authority. You must clearly understand the purpose of this honor. It is not being given to you to inflate your ego or to make you feel superior to others. It is being given to you to add divine weight and credibility to the message I have placed within your heart. When you speak, people will listen more intently. When you lead, people will follow more willingly. This honor is a tool to validate your assignment and to open the hearts of people to receive the life-changing truth I have given you to share. You are royalty. That is not an arrogant statement. It is a simple fact of your new birth. You are a child of the King of Kings. It is time for your outward life and the way you are treated to come into alignment with your true, inner identity. I am simply adjusting your spiritual wardrobe to match your royal position. I command you to wear this new authority with profound grace and deep humility, always remembering who gave it to you and for what purpose. You are now a representative of my kingdom in a new and more visible way. Represent me well. You are now clothed in honor, my child, prepared for your new assignment. I see you standing in your new authority, and my heart is filled with a father's pride. But before you go, there are vital truths I must press into your spirit to ensure this blessing endures. It would grieve me deeply to send you out without this final impartation. Stay, and let me place the most powerful weapons for your future into your hands. My beloved child, as we come to this crucial point, I want to teach you one of the most powerful and transformative principles of faith you will ever learn. It is the key that will not only unlock this blessing, but will also keep the flow of my goodness continuing throughout your entire life. Here is the principle. I want you to begin thanking me for this monumental blessing now, with extravagant gratitude, before you see its full manifestation with your physical eyes. Do not wait until the provision is in your account, until the relationship is restored, or until the new position is secured. Faith, the very substance of things hoped for, calls those things that do not yet exist as though they already do. Your thanksgiving now is a powerful, prophetic act of faith. It is your spirit coming into agreement with what I have already declared is a finished work in the heavenly realm. It is the sound of your belief, and it is music to my ears. Your gratitude is far more than just a polite response after receiving a gift. In my kingdom, gratitude is a spiritual catalyst. It is a powerful force that actually accelerates the fulfillment of a promise. Think of it like this. Your thankfulness tunes the frequency of your heart to the frequency of heaven, where the blessing already exists. While complaining, doubt, and fear create spiritual static and can cause delays, a heart overflowing with gratitude clears the channel, removes all interference, and speeds up the delivery of what I have destined for you. To help you walk in this, I want you to become intentional. Get a notebook, or start a new note on your phone. I want you to begin keeping a written record of my goodness. Title it with your own words, My Gratitude Journal, or a record of God's faithfulness. Every single day, I want you to write down at least one thing you are thankful for, one piece of evidence of my grace in your life. This will become your personal book of remembrance. In the days and weeks ahead, when you are inevitably tempted to doubt or grow weary, you will go back and read this record. It will become a powerful well of encouragement, reminding you of my faithfulness in the past and fueling your faith for the future. You must understand that a thankful heart is a magnet for miracles. The more you are thankful for, the more you will begin to see things to be thankful for. Gratitude opens your spiritual eyes to see the thousands of blessings you are already surrounded by, and it positions your heart in a posture of humility and receptivity to receive even more from my hand. It is a fundamental law of my kingdom. To the one who is grateful for what he has, more will be given. Therefore, when the first wave of this great blessing begins to crash upon the shore of your life, your first human instinct might be to worry. How will I handle this? Am I ready for this? What do I do next? I am commanding you to override that instinct. Your first response must not be worry. It must be worship. Let your first act be to fall on your knees, to lift your hands, and to pour out your heart in thanksgiving. This posture of gratitude is what will keep your heart pure and position you to not only receive this one-time blessing, but to walk in a continual, ever-increasing flow of my goodness for all the days of your life. My child, you have often wrestled with the question of your purpose. You have looked at your life and asked, what am I truly meant to do on this earth? I want to lift your perspective beyond a job title or a specific role. Your very life, not just your work, is now becoming a prophetic act. It is being transformed into a living, breathing demonstration of what my kingdom looks like when it breaks through into the natural realm. You are becoming a tangible sign and a wonder. The profound and visible change in your circumstances, the undeniable peace in your heart, the inexplicable favor that now rests upon you, all of it will be so distinct and so supernatural that it will leave people with only one possible conclusion. They will look at you, at the transformation of your family, at the flourishing of your work, and they will be forced to confess to one another, surely, God is with them. Your life is becoming a signpost in a world that has lost its way, a signpost that points directly and unmistakably to me, your loving and powerful Father. The power of the sign is rooted in the impossibility of your previous situation. Remember the depth of the pit you were in. Remember the mountain of debt. Remember the brokenness in your heart. Remember the barrenness of your circumstances. Do not try to forget those things. The difficult past is the perfect, dark backdrop against which the brilliance of my restorative power will now be displayed. I am not erasing your past. I am redeeming it and using it as the canvas upon which I will paint a masterpiece of my grace. In a generation that demands proof, that scoffs at faith, you are becoming my evidence. My word says you are a living epistle, a letter from me to a skeptical world, written not with ink but with the very Spirit of the living God. People who will not read my book will read your life. Your story of redemption will become a text they cannot put down. And through reading your life, they will come to know me, the author. I am making you a spectacle of my grace and a public showcase of my power. This will require a new posture from you. You must become comfortable being a source of awe and wonder. People will be inspired by you. They will be challenged by you. And most importantly, they will be drawn to me through you. Prepare your heart for this, my child. Your testimony is about to go public in a way you never imagined. You are a sign and a wonder in the land of the living, for my glory alone. My beloved, listen with acute attention, for this is the final and most crucial instruction for this preparatory phase. The work in the heavenly realm is complete. The blessing has been decreed. The spiritual doors have been blown off their hinges. The provision has been released from my treasury. The fresh anointing of my Spirit is upon you. The enemy's legal right to hinder you has been permanently revoked. Everything is in place. But there is one final, sovereign element that you do not control, my perfect timing. As you feel the truth and power of these promises, your human spirit, filled with a new and holy excitement, will be tempted to rush ahead. You will see the open doors and want to sprint through them immediately. But I am commanding you now with the utmost seriousness. Be still, and know that I am God. Do not move in your own strength or in your own timing. If you rush ahead of me, you will find yourself striving and fighting in the very season I have ordained for your rest and supernatural triumph. You will be operating in your own limited power instead of my unlimited grace. Do not make that mistake. You will not have to guess or wonder when the precise moment to act has arrived. Just as I gave my people clear pillars of cloud by day and fire by night to guide their steps in the wilderness, so I will give you a clear, unmistakable signal from my Spirit to move. It will not be ambiguous. It will come as a sudden inner knowing, a divine urge that is undeniable, a profound and settled peace about a specific action or a specific word. You will know that it is me prompting you. Remember my apostles after my resurrection. They had the Great Commission, the promise of my power, but I commanded them to wait in the upper room. They were to wait for the empowerment, for the promise of the Father before they began their work. This moment you are in right now is your upper room. This posture of stillness is not an activity. It is not a waste of time. It is the gathering of spiritual strength before the launch. It is the quiet, focused drawing back of the bowstring just before the arrow is released with great and sudden force. So I want you to wait, but wait with active and expectant faith. Wait with your spiritual sails hoisted, ready to catch the breeze. For soon, the wind of my spirit will begin to blow. It will not be a gentle zephyr. It will be a sudden, rushing, mighty wind. And when that divine wind blows upon your life, you must be ready to set sail immediately. No hesitation. No second guessing. The season of waiting will be over, and the season of moving in my power and in my perfect timing will have come. Be ready. My child, we have now arrived at the final and most vital part of this sacred conversation. This is the pivotal moment where everything we have discussed shifts from the realm of promise to the realm of possession. I need you to focus your entire spirit on this truth. In the realm of heaven, which is the ultimate reality, this entire transaction is already complete. The decree has been issued from my throne. The blessing hath been fully released. The new garments are already upon you. Your name is already on the title deed. Now is your turn to act. You must apprehend by your faith what has already been accomplished by my grace. Faith is not a passive, sentimental feeling of hope. In my kingdom, faith is an active, spiritual force. It is the verb that brings the promises of heaven into the experience of earth. So right now, in this holy moment, I am commanding you to stretch out your spiritual hands. See them in your imagination. They are not weak or empty. They are strong and capable. And I want you to take hold of what I am offering you. It is not far away in the distant future. It is right in front of you, within your grasp. Take hold of your healing. Take hold of your financial breakthrough. Take hold of the restoration of your family. Take hold of your new identity. Take it. It is yours. Now that you have taken it in the Spirit, you must open your mouth and bring your words into alignment with what heaven has already declared is true about you. You must speak it into the atmosphere of your life, your home, your car, your workplace. Begin to declare with boldness, by the grace of God, I am healed. I am prosperous. I am honored. I am anointed and devoted for my assignment. Your words, spoken in faith, are not just wishful thinking. They are the creative containers that carry the unseen reality of the spiritual realm and pour it out into your visible, natural world. You must understand that faith is the official currency of my kingdom. It is the only thing you can use to transact with the riches of heaven. My word says that faith is the substance, the very building material, the title deed of things hoped for. Your faith gives tangible substance to my promise and makes it a reality in your life. Without this active, corresponding action of faith on your part, the promise remains in the spiritual realm, a gift waiting to be unwrapped. Therefore, this is the final, crucial mental and spiritual shift you must make today. I command you to stop seeing yourself as someone who is about to be blessed. Stop living in the future tense, in a state of almost or one day. From this moment forward, you are to see yourself as blessed. You are to think of yourself as healed. You are to carry yourself as prosperous. You are to believe yourself to be free. This is not arrogant presumption. It is humble agreement with my infallible reality. This is the final step. Your active, unwavering, present tense belief that what I have spoken to you is not just going to happen, but that it is, in fact, already done. My beloved child, our sacred time of instruction is now drawing to a close. The words have been spoken. The promises have been sealed. The spiritual transactions have been completed. Your preparation is finished. The season of learning and waiting is over. The time for your divine inauguration is here. This is your commissioning moment. You are now stepping out of the quiet preparation of the upper room and into the world, clothed in a new power, a new authority, and a new purpose. The person who began this conversation is not the person who is finishing it. You have been changed. As you step into this new day, which is the first day of the rest of your new life, I want you to do so with the full, unshakable, and absolute assurance of my presence. Do not for one single second allow the enemy to deceive you into thinking that I have given you this great and weighty assignment and then left you to figure it all out on your own. That is the method of a cruel taskmaster, not a loving father. That is not my way. I will be with you. Let that truth sink deeper than any other. I will be with you in the high-stakes business meeting, giving you the words of wisdom that will unlock favor. I will be with you in the difficult family conversation, giving you the grace and compassion that will bring healing. I will be with you in every challenge, in every moment of uncertainty, being the strength that rises up within you and the peace that calms your heart. My presence with you is not some comforting, abstract theory. It is your most tangible, practical, and empowering reality. You are never, ever alone. I am your ever-present help in times of trouble. I am your divine navigator when the path ahead is unclear. I am your deep comfort when the pressure of your new calling feels immense. I command you to lean on me with your full weight. Depend on me for everything. Keep this conversation going throughout your days. This is a partnership, a divine co-laboring. This great work that we are now embarking upon together, it is my absolute delight. And I give you my eternal, unbreakable word that I will see it through to a glorious and triumphant completion in you and through you. So now, my child, stand up in your spirit. The instruction hath been given. The waiting is over. The wind of my spirit is beginning to blow. What I have done for you is big. It has your name written all over it. And it does not begin tomorrow or next week. It begins now. Go forth, and know that I, your God, am with you always, even to the very end of the age. Oh, my child, I have just commissioned you, saying, go. If you long for this word to go before you, becoming spiritual manna for the hungry and a pillar of fire for those lost in darkness, then this is your moment to send it. Your giving is an act of prophetic obedience, releasing this message to reach another soul who is right where you used to be. I am telling you now, cast this bread upon the waters, and I promise that after many days you will find it again, returned to you 1,000-fold. This is your first act of faith as my ambassador. Do not delay your first assignment. Send this word on its way through Super Thanks, membership, or the divine link placed in the description. Go by giving note. My child, this word is a key, but your declaration is the hand that turns it in the lock. Seal this prophetic moment in the earth by proclaiming your agreement for all of heaven and earth to witness. Declare with unshakable boldness, this is big, and it has my name on it. Or seal it by writing, I receive it now by faith. Do not let this moment fade into a memory. Let your amen be the thunder that announces your new beginning. Amen. If you believe in me, your Heavenly Father, then like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to me, then subscribe to this channel.